What's up, movie lovers? Welcome to episode number 30 of Ready Play Movies, your weekly source for everything that's new and exciting in the world of entertainment. Every Tuesday at 6 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we discuss the top news of the week, notable releases, what we're watching, big topics of the industry, and the movies we love. If you want to write anything to be read on the show, send us an email to readyplaymovies@gmail.com or hit us up at readyplaymovies on Twitter. No matter where you found us, please subscribe to the feed so you can get every new show directly to your device as soon as it posts. And if you like it, please leave us a nice review. This is August 3rd, 2021. I'm your host, Louis Menchaca, and joining me today, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Troy Bracey.
Yes, how's everybody doing? It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Troy, how was your vacation, by the way?
It was cool. It was cool, man. To me, it went by fast. Like, it almost went by so fast that, like, I almost thought, like, last week was this week. And and when you hit me up earlier about the show, I was like, what the hell? I thought we was off. Like, what? And then I realized, like, oh, yeah. So, to me, it went by fast.
Glad I sent you that reminder, too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would already, because you sent me that earlier, but yeah. I would have, realized it, but it kind of just hit me by surprise,
Yeah, man. I was in Indianapolis. I was like, I flew out, doing a real big. Going to like 4-star restaurants.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, like living the hot boy summer life,
And I like how y'all picked an unordinary place to go. I feel like people visit, like when it's the United States, people visit the exact same places: New York, L.A., Denver, Miami,
Chicago or something.
Yeah, like that was something that's how I would like if I go visit when I go on vacation. I'm going to like Washington State or Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Yeah,
I fucked up.
Yeah, you said Idaho. Yeah, maybe you will go to Idaho. But yeah, so. So that's cool that y'all went there.
No, like we went to Indianapolis. We were doing it big in the city, and then we like drove to like the Indiana State Park, and then we went. There's like a trail, so you had to go through a trail, and then at the end of the trail, or like halfway into the trail, we get this part. And then there was the Great Lake, Lake Michigan.
Oh, that's dope.
And it looked like an ocean.
I know y'all took pictures.
Hell yeah, I took pictures, videos, and everything, man. It was fresh water. It's like an ocean, but with no salt in it.
Damn, bro. So I don't know, clear. You can see through there.
Yeah, we saw the fish on our feet and everything like that. Yeah, man, it was real good. I liked it. I had a good trip, and like speaking of which, like the vacation, I guess I'll just hit you guys up with some housekeeping. Go listen to episode 29. That was such a good episode. It's doing good views, by the way. Actually, I was very happy with that. Go listen to episode 29. Dan filled in for me last week, the host of Ready Press Play. And
we appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, like I have a lot of like feelings of inadequacy when I hear somebody so accomplished, but his sister's an Emmy Award-winning producer who works at Netflix, so it's definitely like if you guys love movies and stuff, you want to know about like the ins and outs of someone's like career and living in LA. That's definitely worth the listen. It is not a video, unfortunately. Dan doesn't record video, so it's an audio only. I will put a link down in the description for the YouTube people, because if you're an audio listener, you're on the same feed. You just go back one episode.
Do y'all do videos on y'all podcast or just audio?
Ready Press Play is video, but it's on this channel. It's on the Level 1 Gaming YouTube channel as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and check it out there, and we'll definitely let us know what you think and everything. Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter, all that good jazz. The other good thing is actually, as far as I sort of alluded to just a moment ago, quick update for you guys. We are temporarily changing YouTube channels. So normally we're on the Ready Play Network YouTube channel, but now we are moving up and packing up and temporarily, squatting on someone else's house. We're going to go to Level 1 Gaming, the YouTube channel for the interim time. The Tuesday show, the Level 1 Gaming's Tuesday show is called Cogs in a Machine. It is on without going into details, it's on an unscheduled hiatus until the show can be revamped and come back. We will be taking the Tuesday slot to keep you guys entertained in the interim time. And I don't know what the plans are as far as after they come back. I expect us to go back to the YouTube channel, back to our YouTube channel, and you guys can follow us there. Or depending on how things play out, just however the dice rolls, we may stay here. Who knows? But for now, let's just call it temporary.
And y'all, Oh yeah, y'all. Never mind, I'm tripping. I was gonna say y'all channel. I mean, y'all show is on this channel too, right? Or have y'all been on that channel already?
Ready Press Play has been at home of Level One Gaming.
Oh, it's been on for the
Yeah,
jump.
since episode 60.
So, where did this YouTube channel come from? It was exclusively made for when we started this podcast.
No, this Level One Gaming was.
No, I'm talking about the channel that we're on.
Oh, we were
right
on
now.
before.
Yeah.
So Ready Play Network was started because of the Ready Press Play.
Yeah.
But we never were uploading anything. We were uploading only our Twitch VODs.
Oh, and so y'all been uploading that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been only putting when we do a Twitch stream and we archive it here on the Ready Play Network channel.
Yeah.
But then we weren't always doing Ready Press Play as audio only. We never did video. And then whenever David, the owner of Level One Gaming, approached us and he wanted us to put Ready Press Play on his channel, we were like, okay, we'll do it, but we have to do video. We can't do an MP3 with a still image the whole time. We weren't going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. That
So,
makes sense.
yeah, you're
Oh
welcome.
no, I thought y'all was on the same channel. I thought the whole. Okay.
Nope, it's just Twitch streams there. So, yeah, so we'll, it was basically a very long update, but yeah, it's all good. Just follow me on Ready Play Movies. Follow me on Twitter at Chakalaka88. All the links will always be posted there. So anytime you need to know where to find me, I'm always there. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and move on to our typical show here. It's the beginning of the month. It's August 2nd for us when we're recording this. So we'll go ahead and go back to the future. Oh, there we go.
Marty! You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
So yeah, Back to the Future. It's the segment where we talk about the anniversaries of all the releases, and I'm actually kind of like, I would say surprised, I would say. As some of them I kind of find them funny. So for instance, for our very first 5-year anniversary is Suicide Squad.
Man,
the David Ayers movie.
What a coincidence! Like that, we got a new Suicide Squad movie coming out literally next week, and the previous Suicide Squad came out 5 years ago. Like
It's the 5-year anniversary. No, it's not even coming out next week. It's coming out this Friday.
That's what I mean. This the beginning of the week, so I mean, like, like at the end of this week.
Yeah.
And then the old one came out 5 years ago. That's crazy. Dang, time goes by. Because I remember being excited for that movie and whatever, and now it's 5 years in the past. Like, damn, that's crazy. But it was a terrible film.
I like how it's called Suicide Squad. I looked at it and double checked it. It's called Suicide Squad, and the new movie is called The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the new Suicide Squad. It doesn't know if it wants to be a reboot or just a sequel. Yeah, it's like it's neither one. It's like, you know what I mean. It's weird, but I think it's kind of their way of just completely doing the Suicide Squad. It's like a soft reboot, like what they call it. But the Suicide Squad from 2016, man, it just was bad. Like,
but they had a good trailer though.
I think the trailers was fantastic. I think that's what make it more disappointing, right? When the trailers are so good and you're like, damn, and then when you watch it, it's like almost like a music video or something.
It just seems so weird to talk about it 5 years ago because it feels like just yesterday we were hearing about what's his name, the guy that played Joker,
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, sending used condoms to Will Smith.
Yeah, he was just doing extra shit. Like, and then his performance to me was, I didn't even like his performance. You did all that to have a whack ass performance. Like, come on, bro. Like Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix, they didn't do none of that, and they won Oscars. Like, it's like, come on, bro. You could have won a Razzie for that performance. Like, and you sending condoms and rats and all kind of shit.
But it feels just like yesterday. Just
it does. It's crazy.
Jared Leto's antics and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, other releases that came out 5 years ago, something called 9 Lives, Cafe Society, Pete's Dragon, Sausage Party. That
was
Seth
5
Rogen.
years ago? Fuck, I thought that was like in 2018 or something.
That Seth Rogen movie, dude. That movie's ending was like a giant orgy.
Yeah. That movie was crazy right there.
Florence Foster Jenkins, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, what a masterpiece!
I still haven't seen it. I
You
have that
haven't
movie.
seen it?
I have that movie. I still haven't seen it.
Bro, you doing yourself a disservice. Cuba and the Two Strings may have been one of the best animated movies since and within the 5-year range. That's how good it is. Like, it's a masterpiece.
Jonah Hill started to get his acting chops on in War Dogs.
Oh yeah, War Dogs. Oh, directed by Todd Phillips that also did Joker.
Yeah. Ben-Hur. I have not seen Ben-Hur. I've only seen the classic movie from like the 50s or whatever when it came out. 30s. I don't know.
I didn't even know they did a new
remake.
Ben-Hur. Yeah, that's how you know it must not have been this
It got
big.
it got like lambasted critically, like torn to shreds.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I just know the classic one. That's it.
Don't Breathe, which
the
I
sequel
watched,
coming out too.
Yeah, it's gonna say the sequel's coming out later this month, but I also watched Don't Breathe like last year during COVID lockdown.
Oh, for real?
So I'm just
For
like
the first time.
For the first time.
Oh, so it's still fresh to you? Yeah. Don't Breathe was a fantastic movie. It's like clever. It's like a clever idea. I like when movies have clever ideas, especially horror films, and that's one of them.
And then next up was The Mechanic Resurrection, and then there's Southside with You, Hands of Stone, and Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water, that was a masterpiece. That's a crazy Hell or High Water was. I was so happy that movie came out that year because I remember 2016 being one of the worst years for movies as a whole. Like it was just one of those like years where it's like, man, I just want to get through it, you know. And Hell or High Water was one of the great movies that made me feel like, okay, at least we got something. It was a true masterpiece.
Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, Ben Foster. Damn.
Yes.
Is it a Western?
Yes, it's a Western.
Shit.
Yeah, and it's one of those westerns that you think you could predict it, but it's
Is it like on that No Country for Old Men kind of like
type
level?
of thing? Yeah, it's on that level for sure.
Shit.
Yeah, it's on that level.
I never seen it. I think I heard of it, but I never seen it. And then also, I was just like, in my head, the first thing I was thinking about when I saw this title was Stillwater.
Stillwater. I just seen that. Yeah, I just seen that one. Yeah.
Oh shit! You got to put that in impressions. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the 10-year mark, and let's see here. So for 10 years ago, we got August of 2011, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the James Franco one.
Man, like you don't get that. That whole franchise is unique. You don't usually get reboots and trilogies where all three of them were good.
Yeah.
Like that's so rare to get a reboot that's good, B a trilogy of the reboot and all of them were good. And Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I remember watching it in theaters and was very surprised.
I just wish that they changed the titles because the next one was called Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So
and
this one was
Dawn
called
should have
Dawn.
been first, and
Dawn
then Rise should have been second,
and then War was third.
Yeah. That's why I was always confused. I would be like Rise, no Dawn. Like I was always confused. But and it's crazy. This one, what I loved about Rise though, it really surprised me because it felt like it was gonna be a bad movie. Like I didn't buy the trailers.
Like my motherfucking Malfoy's up in this bitch.
I was like nah, but it surprised the hell out of me and a lot of people.
All right. There's the Change Up, which is the Ryan Reynolds. What's his name? Jason Bateman movie where they body swap, Freaky Friday. There's the Help, which got Octavia Spencer her Oscar.
Yeah.
That's 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fun.
Yeah, and she had a great performance in that.
Final Destination 5, which came after the Final Destination, which was the fourth movie. So it's kind of funny. I should probably turn off that light to tell you the truth. But, the Final Destination was a lie because Final Destination 5 happened. And then there was an all-time classic comedy movie starring Jesse Eisenberg, a.k.a. Lex Luthor, 30 Minutes or Less.
Yeah.
I just can't. I will never forget that scene with Michael Pena when he got accidentally shot or whatever, and he was like in the mirror. He's like, "You a pimp." So
that was funny.
Oh, and then there was the one part where the old man was like, "I used to shoot people like you when I was in the shit," and he was like, Michael Pena was like, "Damn, son, that cuts deep." I was like, then there was the biggest flop of summer of 2011, Glee, the 3D concert movie. It was we did a topic of the show, and it was the biggest flop of that summer.
Yeah, like that was funny because what was so funny about that was like people were thinking that it was gonna be a hit because it was Glee, and it ended up being the worst fucking box office performance. Like,
All right. Well, before let's get into this here. Let's see. Glee, through 3D concert movie, and let's go with box office mojo. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this here. I want to know. It came out, okay, it made $11 million in the box office the entire time. And when it opened in theaters,
it made 18 million worldwide.
Let's see. It opened at number 11 outside the top 10. It opened at number 11 to $5.9 million
Jesus Christ.
in its first weekend.
Man.
And then it slid down to like 1.8 in the second weekend, and then 184,000 in the third weekend.
It didn't even get 1 million. It didn't even get 500,000. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. So yeah, next up is Spy Kids 4D, All the Time in the World, which is starring Jessica Alba and Joel McHale as the
I
parents.
don't think I watched that one.
And they gave away like these, it was like 4D because they was smell-o-vision or whatever. And so when you go to the movie theater and you buy a ticket, they gave you like this card, like this scratch and sniff card. So like when the movie came up, there was like a number that would pop up on the bottom right-hand corner. And so it tells you when to smell. So you would scratch it and smell what they're smelling in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And it was all like the same smell. It felt like it was all like strawberry fucking perfume.
That's trying to do something new and hoping that'll be the new thing. Like, hey, you want to go see that 4D?
Yeah,
like,
I know. It's like
but
3D.
that shit went away quick as hell.
3D with smell, and then like there's like the thing where like the seats are rocking and stuff. There's Fright Night, and then Conan the Barbarian. That's the first time I ever seen Jason Momoa in my entire life. Like I didn't know about Game of Thrones at the time.
Yeah.
And that was
Mine
my
too.
introduction.
That was I think most people that because what
I think Game of Thrones happened first though.
Really?
I think so.
I thought Conan was first, but I might be wrong on that. But yeah, that's the first time I seen him too.
One Day. And then there's Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And then Zoe Saldana. That's how I knew she was going to be a superstar. Colombiana. You didn't know?
I didn't see that one.
Damn. Okay. And then also, Our Idiot Brother, which is starring Paul Rudd. That dude has not aged a day in these last 10 years. Like,
yeah, Paul Rudd looked the exact same. Like he
since
looked
the 90s.
Since I first seen him, he looks the exact same. He might change his hair. Like I don't know about him and Will Smith. Somehow they know how to just not age. It's weird, bro. Like it's so weird.
And then there's The Debt, which I forgot. It might have been like some Oscar movie or whatever. But yeah, so that was 10 years ago, and it's like some of these titles are like bringing me more like they're funnier to me than they are like nostalgic, which is really weird.
Except for Planet of the Apes. For me to Rise.
Yeah. Next up, we'll go to 15 years ago, and that goes to August of 2006. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Peak Will Ferrell. Between that and Step Brothers, peak Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
That's when he was like in his straight up prime. He was one of the biggest comedian in the world, and I think that was before like Chris Rock. I mean, not Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, and all them. Like he was the ranked number one biggest comedian around this time.
I just remember that song, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky, yeah.
That came out after the fact too.
Yeah, that shit's
I think it came out like in 2008. That song.
Yeah, like and that's what they was talking about. Like you know what I'm saying? Like yeah.
I just randomly thought about that song, by the way. Barnyard, which is an animated movie. There's The Descent, which is a horror movie. The Night Listener, which is a Robin Williams movie. World Trade Center, which was a Nicolas Cage like 9/11 movie, like a biopic kind of thing. Zoom, which is a Tim Allen movie, which is a kid movie where like the kids have superpowers. Yeah. Step Up was my introduction to Channing Tatum.
Oh yeah, mine too. I think so. Step Up, that corny movie. Yeah.
That corny shit. Yeah. Step Up was, I don't know, like I can't tell.
When the last time you seen it?
I haven't seen it since.
That's
it's been
what
a
I'm
minute.
saying. Watch it again, bro. Like you thinking of it at 15 years ago. Watch it again, bro. I'm telling you. Like matter of fact, do yourself a favor. Just watch the trailer. Just watch the trailer, and then you'll say like that's gonna be enough for you to be like, yeah, I think you was right. Yeah, trust me.
You know what's kind of funny is like I think I've reached all like at least from Step Up 2 onwards, like from 2 to 4 or 2 to 5. I watched the Step Up movies in theaters, and I remember like liking it because I was so big into like watching dance movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like You Got Served and all this other shit. Like
yeah.
I was so big on that.
I was never big on them.
And then there was that one with Chris Brown where Stomp the Yard. And shit.
Stomp the Yard. Yeah.
And so like I
never was big on those.
I was big on those movies, man. I was like, it makes me want to like. I would think I would like be able to dance like that shit and
everything. Get hyped and stuff.
So I think for me, like maybe now, if I were to watch it, I would be like, why did I like that? But in my
at the
memory,
time, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
In
at the time,
I don't know if I want to ruin it.
I thought it was all right at the time too, but yeah, I think I seen it maybe a couple years ago, and I was like, oh my goodness, it just didn't hold up.
Pulse, and then there was the big flop. Everyone was like making memes out of it back when memes were like in their infancy. Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane, yeah.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yes, Snakes on the Plane was just an idiotic movie. Like the scene where
But you remember
the scene where a snake like bites the girl titty.
Oh yeah.
It's like really out of all the spots, that's where the snake bit her. Like, come on, man.
You know what happened when they aired on TV. You know how on TV they always like
censored it. Yeah,
they redub it. You know what he says?
What did he say?
I'm tired of these monkey flying snakes on this monkey flying plane.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. The biggest comedy of all times is the dubs on TV shows. Like, I mean, on movies.
Yeah.
Like, those are the funniest. Like, they'll say something like, instead of like, I hate your ass, they'll say like, I hate your bald head. Like,
or like, when they redub it, it's like, instead of when they would say like Jesus Christ, instead of that, they would say peas and rice.
Yeah, like, what the hell? They'll just say, it's almost like they got 5 minutes or something. Like, hurry up, say something, and they had like do the first thing come to their head, because it don't even be something that's like still good, like different, but just censored and good. It'd be something just stupid. It's like they got 5 minutes to redub it. Like, hurry up, come with the new dialogue, and you got 5 seconds to do it. All right,
and then shout it to the mic. Shout it to the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I just remember back. I think it was Comic-Con. Didn't this have a big presence at Comic-Con?
I don't even know. I didn't even know what Comic-Con was back then.
Like, I want to say it did, because I remember like there were like videos, and this is before YouTube, by the way, where people were uploading like parodies of trailer of Snakes on a Plane, and everyone was thinking that it was gonna be the next big thing.
Yeah,
because of how much marketing.
I mean, that's crazy. Like, I didn't start knowing about Comic-Con until the age of YouTube. So before YouTube, I didn't even know Comic-Con existed. So it might have.
And then there was Accepted, which was the Justin Long movie where he was like, he makes up his own college. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that movie or not. Okay. There was Material Girls, which was a Hillary and Haley Duff movie of all things. There was The Illusionist, which was like the poor man's Prestige with Edward Norton.
Yeah, that was that movie wasn't really all that.
Yeah, the Prestige gets all like
because they came out around the same time, and I remember like people being kind of confused about which, like, I mean, not confused which one is which, but that was like kind of like comparing them, comparing them, but like the Prestige is way better,
way better. Yeah, it's been talked about, like, you know, for it stood the test of time, but this one got forgotten about.
Yeah, it got
and
forgotten.
by the way, movies, there tend to be movies where like Hollywood makes movies in twos, where like Deep Impact and Armageddon come out at the same time.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, like there's always a situation where movies come in twos and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Little Miss Sunshine, which I think we covered before in a previous Back to the Future, but it got its wide release in August because it was in limited release earlier in the summer. Beer Fest, which that movie kind of explains itself. Invincible, which was the Mark Wahlberg movie where it was like based on a true story, where Mark Wahlberg is like a regular Joe Schmo that makes it into the NFL because they had like an open tryout for like their fans.
That's crazy. I ain't never seen that. Like,
I think it was set in the 70s.
And I'm a Mark Wahlberg guy. I've never seen. At least I can't think of it.
Yeah, it's like, I think it was set in the 70s, but basically there was like this NFL team that was kind of like having a losing streak or whatever. And you know how fans always talk shit about like, you need to do this or whatever.
Right.
And then the coach is like, you know what, fuck it. We're having open tryouts. If you want to come and show us what you got, and then like everyone, like there's a bunch of like NFL fans that are like practicing, and they're all fat and like out of shape. And then Mark Wahlberg just comes in and just shows up and like just like as a badass, and they're like, actually, you're the only guy here that's good, so welcome to the NFL. Like that was
crazy.
And so it was actually good. I think, but I don't think he was like an actual player. I think he was a kicker. Like he was like know. But there was How to Eat Fried Worms, and then there was the Outcast movie Idlewild. Remember that one?
Idlewild, the Outcast.
Like it was
was it about them?
Like I think it was like
one of those where they filmed them doing shit and all that, like filmed Outcast performing.
It was based off of a music video. So they did a music video for like a song called Idlewild, and then they just made it a feature length film.
I think I remember that. I do think I remember that because I was a big fan of Outkast. Believe it or not.
So I just there we go.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember
Andre
that.
Benjamin, I guess that's Big Boy right there. So
I remember that.
So yeah, there's that, and then I think that's it. That's it for the 15-year mark. So again, like for some reason, I just like it's just making me laugh when I'm like seeing these stuff, and like they just I guess these movies sort of like just bring out like it's like a gleeful.
Because a lot of these are comedies and stuff, or bad
Yeah,
movies
or that they're so
where
funny.
they could be a comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the best comedies are bad movies. I've been saying that.
20 years ago brings us to August of 2001. Rush Hour 2 leads the pack.
Ooh, that's a classic. Right out
Classic.
the gate. Right out the gate.
Probably
Rush Hour
the
2.
best Rush Hour out of the three, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Then there was the Princess Bride, which was the Anne Hathaway movie. Original Sin. Did not know that Antonio Banderas and Angelina Jolie did a movie together.
Yeah, and they have like, and it's a good movie too. It's a real good movie. For all y'all that like sex, it's a sex scene. But yeah, so it was a good movie.
And then there was American Pie 2, which was I remember the trailer whenever like they had to get Stifler and what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name of the character and the actor, but they had to do a kiss scene. Remember like there was that iconic scene in the trailer where it's like you go, we go, you go,
Yeah,
we go.
yeah.
And so in order to get these two girls to kiss, the two dudes had to kiss first or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was
I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen American Pie, but it's been so long that I don't really remember
which ones happened and what happens.
Yeah.
But then there was this, like in that scene they had they ended up winning like a Sean William Scott and damn I can't remember his name escapes me, but Jason Biggs.
Okay.
They ended up winning the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss that year.
They was just trying to be funny with that. Yeah.
Osmosis Jones, which is like the Bill Murray like hybrid live action animated movie. There was the Nicole Kidman movie The Others, and I literally was just taken to the movies one time and then I didn't know what I was gonna go see. I watched The Others with my family. And I'm gonna just give you guys the twist. It's a 20-year-old movie now, so I'm gonna just give you guys away the twist. But Nicole Kidman and her kids, they're ghosts. They didn't know that they were ghosts. They were haunting their own house. So yeah, there's that. Rat Race, hilarious ass movie. Did you see this movie? Dude, it's got like Cuba Gooding Jr., Whoopi Goldberg, Breckin Meyer, Amy Smart. Like it has like John Cleese. Like pretty much,
animated?
it's a live action movie where like John Cleese was like a millionaire guy, and he's like, all right, we're in Las Vegas. If you can make it to like what is it, some faraway place, like I don't know, like California or it's like a really long drive or whatever. It's like we got all you guys over here, like it's like 10 of them, and he said, all right, there's $1 million in a locker in this train station. If you're the first one that gets to that locker, the money's yours.
Damn.
And all of them just get up and just make a run for it and just try to like. Some of them were on a plane, some of them were driving, some of them were on a train and all this other stuff. And like, it is hilarious.
That seems like a fun concept. Like I would want to watch that at school or something.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off so much when I watched that movie. I watched it multiple times. I remember that movie so well. So yeah, it's just so ridiculous. And so many movie stars at that. American Outlaws. I feel like I should know that, but I don't.
I don't know it either.
Captain Corelli's Mandolin. Don't know what that is. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That's the first time I ever heard of Jay and Silent Bob, by the way. Was this movie?
The first time I'm hearing it now.
Wait, no bullshit. Kevin Smith, the Jason Mewes.
Pull it up. Some
my
stuff
God.
I gotta see.
Jay
I gotta see the what's the name.
Silent Bob Strike Back. You know this movie. Images. All right.
Wait, that's yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting confused with that and what's the other one that he did? The other Kevin Smith movie. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Oh, of course, that's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic. But Kevin Smith has see. That's why I be having to see the for certain stuff. I gotta see the photos or like a YouTube clip or something. But yeah, I've seen that. That's like Ben Affleck was in that movie.
And so was Matt Damon and everything. Yeah. Let's see. That movie was like basically like a parody of like how to make movies in Hollywood.
Yeah. He made a movie about making movies.
Yeah, it was a movie about making a movie. Summer Catch, which is a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie. It's like a rom-com, those teen movies or whatever. Ghost of Mars, Bubble Boy, which I believe was that Jake Gyllenhaal movie where he's like in a bubble. The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, Jeepers Creepers.
Man.
And O.
What's O? I don't know what that is. But hey, Jeepers Creepers though?
Yeah.
That's in my top 5.
What?
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers was scary as hell. Like Jeepers Creepers was on a like I don't think like listen, people look at Jeepers Creepers as a classic. I do remember that.
Othello. It stands for Othello.
Yeah, I remember that. Like they had like
Julia Stiles, Mekhi Phifer.
I remember that. It was like this weird relationship. Like she was dating him and all. Like I remember that movie. That's crazy. But back to Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
Forget back to Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is known as a classic. But it doesn't get the credit it deserves for being one of the scariest damn movies of all time. Jeepers Creepers, that shit.
Oh my God, damn.
That shit was the first one. The second one was more just fun. They on a bus. It was more generic. But that first one, as a kid, I remember having nightmares, literally having fucking nightmares, bro. Like, that shit holds up. And I watched it recently, maybe like 4 years ago. It holds up to this day, bro.
Oh,
like,
man. And then when you see him, like, when they were trying to run him over, and then he's, like, running on top of the car.
Oh, God. And
like,
see, they did something so genius where, and not enough monster movies do this, where they don't show him, like, clearly. You just get a little glimpse of him.
Shadows and shit.
And it makes it even more scarier because it's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? But, yeah, Jeepers Creepers is one of them. I want them to do a reboot to that so bad. Like, Jeepers Creepers, I think they did a 3, and it was atrocious. Oh, my God, it was bad.
Yeah, no, it's not. The third time's not the charm. Yeah, the first one was probably the best one. And then also, what's it called? Just as a side note, they skinned him, man. Fuck. I was like, shit. Justin Long, man.
They gave him that unexpected ending.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to 25 years. Let's see. We have Chain Reaction, which is the Keanu Reeves movie and Morgan Freeman. Yep. Matilda, which is when the girl has telekinesis.
Matilda,
you know about that one.
I know Matilda. That was my sister movie.
Escape from L.A., which was the second movie after Escape from New York. Jack, which is the Robin Williams movie where his character ages, 10 times faster than a normal person? Or, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to say 10 times faster.
I don't know why I was thinking of Hook when you said Jack. I don't know.
So Robin Williams, his character is 10 years old. So Robin Williams at the time, he's a 40-year-old man, but his character is 10, so he literally ages 4 times faster. Like whenever like his pregnancy happened, whatever, and he was like, not due for like so many months. He's like, he's already here, and so he was just really aging like really really fast, and so now he's 10 years old, and I guess his character's like in the 4th grade, and so you got an adult man and Robin Williams in like a fucking elementary school.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, so that's that. I watched that movie in theaters back in the day, and then there's Alaska, The Fan. Tin Cup, which I want to say there was a Kevin Costner movie, if just memory serves. Bordello of Blood, don't know what that is. House Arrest, I remember watching that on repeat back in the day. And then there's a Very Brady sequel, which was the second Brady Bunch movie, the theatrical movie. There was 2 movies in the 90s.
I didn't even know they did a sequel to the Brady Bunch movie. What
really?
Hell no. I didn't know
Rob Lowe was in it. You know that?
Hell no, because I didn't know what it is.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. In the 90s, the 90s, they had the Brady Bunch movies, right?
Yeah, the Brady.
You didn't know? So they didn't know there was 2 of them in the 90s?
No.
I
didn't know they did a sequel to that. That's crazy.
And you know what's kind of fucked up is like I didn't know this until much later when I found out that basically the movies, both the Brady Bunch movies,
not as good as the show.
No. Actually, well, I don't know. I don't remember the show that much. I barely watched it like back in Naked Night when I was like a little kid, but. The movies recycled the plot lines of the shows and just basically rehashed them.
Oh, they put a Dragon Ball Super, bro.
Where it's like it's the same plots, but like they're just redoing it in a movie. But they speed run. They
did that with Dragon Ball Super. They did the first 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Super is Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F, and that's the first 2 seasons. I was like, come on, but yeah.
Yeah, they just sort of speed run those classics. Like so, it's like these storylines and gags and stuff. Do it again. The Island of Dr. Moreau. There's Carpool, which is a Tom Arnold movie. Solo.
The Han Solo movie came out 25 years ago.
I was like, what's Solo? Let me see there.
I thought Han Solo just came out.
Let's see here. Let's take a look at this shit. I want to know. Mario Van Peebles, William Sadler. I don't know who these guys. Adrian Brody.
It got 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's one of the worst movies ever made, bro. Like, it looks ridiculous. It looks like they tried to make him look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what the fuck? It looks terrible, bro. Jesus Christ.
Part man, part machine, total weapon. Okay, so he's like just an action guy, basically.
Yeah, he looks ridiculous.
I don't know who Mario Van Peebles is, but I guess he was a big star
He was
back
a
then.
star back in the day.
Okay. All right, so there's The Crow, City of Angels, which I guess was the second one, and then there's First Kid and The Stupids. And one of these two movies is a Tom Arnold movie. I can't tell you which one. So it's kind of funny. Is like a Tom Arnold movie came out this weekend, and then the following weekend, another Tom Arnold movie came out. So it's like, damn. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like I know I've seen most of these movies and stuff like that. So as we get like older and stuff, my knowledge gets kind of wanes and stuff. So, anyways, 30 years ago, August of 1991, Doc Hollywood, which was a Michael J. Fox movie, Body Parts, don't know what that is, Return to the Blue Lagoon, which was the second movie, the sequel to the Blue Lagoon, and it stars Mia Jovovich, and she was hot and fine as hell in that movie, and the movie wasn't as good as the first movie. Double Impact, which was like an action movie, Pure Luck, Delirious, Bingo, which was like a I'm not gonna lie, I actually watched that movie back in the day when I was a kid. Back in '91, I would have been I don't know, 3-4 years old. But it's about a dog that escapes from a circus and befriends a kid who's like doesn't have friends or whatever. So, yeah, the dog was really smart. There's Mystery Date, The Doctor, and this is like the most product placement movie title I've ever seen in my life. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Yeah,
and it stars Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing, right, with that title.
There's True Identity, Defenseless, the third Chucky movie, Child's Play 3.
The worst Chucky movie out of that trilogy.
Isn't that the one where like he goes to like a Boy Scout camp or whatever?
Yeah.
And then there's like this kid that sees like Chucky through a grenade and everyone's arguing with each other.
Yeah.
And no one saw it, so he had to go and jump on the
That's so
grenade.
stupid,
and I'm
bro.
like, fuck, they
But
just killed a kid.
Speaking of Chucky, I just seen a trailer for like a Chucky series,
yeah,
a mini-series.
it's gonna be on Check This Out. I got that covered. And then there's Dead Again, which I don't know what that is. But yeah, does any of these stuff ring a bell for you, by the way?
Nuh-uh. Not a single movie in this 30-year what's the name I knew of except for Child's Play 3.
I've seen Child's Play 3. I remember watching that back on TV when it was like a long time ago. I saw Bingo, Return to the
It's
Blue
always funny how the further we get back, the more I start knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's older than me. Like,
Were you even born yet?
no, I wasn't born yet.
fuck.
I'm 28. We 30 years ago. I'm 28. Shit.
I was alive. So Return to the Blue Lagoon is somewhere on that bookshelf, like the VHS copy of that
That's
movie.
crazy.
So, yeah. Anyways, next we'll go ahead and move on to 35 years. And now we're both in the same spot where I wasn't even born yet. So let's see. All right. 35 years ago, we have Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, which is like 2 movies after the fact. Because I think Friday the 13th, Part 4 was called The Final Chapter. And that was a lie.
Yeah, it was far from final.
Howard the Duck, which is like an atrocious movie, by the way. Like people like make fun of it. Nothing Uncommon, A Fine Mess, The Transformers the movie. Now,
that's the class.
80s.
Yeah, that's dope.
So what's kind of fucked up about this movie is like in case you don't know this, in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, all of the Transformers die.
Yeah.
And
I love that shit, bro.
They killed off everyone,
Bro,
to make room for the new toys.
Yeah, I mean, it was some hoe ass shit because it was some hoe ass shit only because they did it for to sell the new toys and stuff. But in terms of for a movie, it actually worked good because it's like nothing, like you don't expect that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Like imagine you watch a movie and all the main characters die. You like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it was cool that they did it. The reason why they did it was some hoe ass shit.
Yeah, exactly. But and it was like, and it's scarring for like little kids.
Kids
going to
like,
go watch
no,
the movie.
That's some hoe ass shit, bro. I've been mad.
One Crazy Summer. Don't know what that is. Classic, all-time classic movie. Stand by Me. Have you seen this
The
movie?
hell?
Of course, Stand by Me. It's back when Jerry O'Connell was a fat kid.
Yeah.
We got Corey Feldman. We got River Phoenix.
River Phoenix
Will
before
Wheaton.
he passed R.I.P. to River. But
Yeah.
that's a classic.
Will Wheaton and everything. Yeah, man, they don't make movies like that anymore.
No, hell no.
I think I had that movie on DVD. I don't know what happened to it, but it would have been on that bookshelf. Armed and Dangerous, The Fly. Is that Is that the what's his name? Jeff Goldblum movie? Let me see here. The Fly, 1986. All right. Let's see. Yes, it is the Jeff Goldblum movie. Damn, that movie. Damn, that movie turning 35. All right, Manhunter, The Boy Who Could Fly. I've actually saw that movie back when I was a teenager, when they just randomly aired it on HBO and on TV.
Just randomly.
It was just randomly. I was like, oh, and I didn't even know it was an older movie, by the way. But literally, that's what the movie's about. It's about a boy who could fly.
Oh shit.
So like, this girl is just like, sort of like, there's this girl lives next door to this boy who's like, they're both teenagers, and he's autistic. But then she was noticing some strange shit, and she's wondering, can he fly? And so like the whole movie, you're wondering like, what the fuck, can he fly? And like, and at the very end of the movie, he's motherfucking flying around like Superman, just like fucking like, yeah, like so. There was the big payoff at the end where it's like, oh my god, he really can. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Extremities, Born Again, and Bullies. So yeah, surprisingly, I've seen enough of these movies actually, even before my time. And the only movie that I can tell you right now, the next one, for the final one, for 40 years ago, An American Werewolf in London. And it's an all-time classic movie. Never seen it.
You never seen it?
Never seen it.
Bro, like that shit used to play on TV so much. Like I used to get sick of seeing the movie, and I liked the movie. It played on TV all the time, bro. Like that's one of those cable exclusive that everyone get, even though it's an exclusive. You know what I'm saying? That's how I seen it on TV. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know how you never seen that, man. What a good movie too. It doesn't hold up in terms of the aesthetic. I mean, like the way it looks. You know, it doesn't hold up. Kind of like how people look back at Star Wars, A New Hope, and be like, shit look kind of. But as a movie, it worked well.
Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, those are the anniversaries there. Overall, like I don't feel like it's like this. It's not the strongest.
No,
I feel like last month was the strongest.
No, yeah, last month was way stronger. It was banger after banger. This one was like, you know, and maybe like 4 decades. It might have, maybe like 2 decades. I ain't see a single movie. Like,
but like overall, like I think this is like the funnest I've actually had reading this list.
Yeah, because it's a lot of comedies and bad movies, and bad movies are just as funny as comedies.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to impressions. So I saw a couple of movies. I saw Old, which was the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Did you watch it by any chance?
No, I didn't see it.
Fuck.
No,
oh my god.
I know it's M. Night, so it's some kind of twist going on like in the movie.
Surprisingly, not really. Kinda, but no. I would say there's not, but I would say this. I am a little like appalled by M. Night's direction. Like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Okay. So there's some very bad dialogue, and I'm pretty sure he wrote the script. But he makes these actors say stuff that real people won't say. Like, "Hi, I'm a doctor," and like this so like just introducing like, "Oh, this is my wife," and she has nothing. Like the way these characters are like speaking,
like a little kid wrote the script type shit. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me, man.
So terrible dialogue, and the actors aren't really doing any justice either. The actors are not doing a good job either.
And that's crazy because they got some solid actors in this movie. Like that shit's crazy.
So one of the actors was in Lost, and he did a better job in Lost than he did in this movie. And like, what's really crazy is, you know, if you'd never seen Lost before, you would think that this guy doesn't know how to act.
That just means like usually when you see that, when someone, damn, this person's so good in this and they're bad in this, the director's not doing his job by getting the best performance out the actor. He'd probably just, and then when the script is bad, it's even harder for the actors because it's not real. It doesn't, like, if you got to say something that you wouldn't normally say, it's hard for an actor to deliver the dialogue, you know? So, yeah. So
then what ended up happening was there were a couple of times that I was taken out of the movie because I thought to myself, this feels like they're filming a rehearsal. This feels like they're doing their first take, and like, you know, just like, all right, we're good, we're moving on. Like, what? That's how it feels like.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why, you know, because I was about to see Old, but Old and Stillwater was playing around the same time, and I was thinking like, okay, you got M. Night Shyamalan, who's a terrible director, and then you got the director that did that won the Oscar for the what movie was that? Fuck, whatever. You got an Academy Award winning Oscar, right?
Yeah.
For winning Best Picture. And I was like, should I go see an M. Night Shyamalan piece of garbage, or should I go see
Tom McCarthy?
Yeah, Tom McCarthy, right? Or should I go see a damn good ass movie? You know, and that's how I end up seeing Stillwater. But M. Night Shyamalan, this dude is amazing because he can somehow someone's giving him money to make bad movie after bad movie.
He's self-financing them. That's why.
He's self-financing? Mm-hmm. I mean, but damn, all his movies are bombing. So how is...
They're not, actually. They're not. They're not
actually, no, yeah, I take that back. Because he's been on a recent roll.
With Split and like...
But I'm talking before that. I'm talking before that, all his movies was bombing.
Yeah,
before he went on that little run, like, I liked The Visit. I actually liked that one.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. And I liked Split.
Yeah.
Split was his best movie in years. Maybe since... I'm trying to think. What was his last good movie? Lady in the Water wasn't even good. What was the movie before that? The superhero movie he did with Bruce Willis. That was probably
Was it Unbreakable? Or
Unbreakable, yeah. Unbreakable was a masterpiece.
So we got here. So we got Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, After Earth.
Look at these. Listen, these three right here bombed terrible. All three bombed terrible.
After Earth, Last Airbender, Happening.
And that's why I say the dude is amazing, because usually in Hollywood, when you have a boatload, like when you have consecutive bombs, it's harder to get movies made in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and so the fact that he could just make a bad movie that bomb, and not only are they bombing, they're bad. Like you have some movies that bomb, but they were really good, so people have faith in you again. Like, okay, he can make a good movie at least, But he's making bad movies and they're bombing, and like, but as of late though, it makes sense. He's been making,
So after Earth bombed, then he did The Visit, and that was self-financed. So he's been making smaller indie movies, like Glass might be the most expensive movie he's made since After Earth.
It wouldn't surprise me if Glass wasn't self-financed, because it was a bigger budget.
Yeah, it was a bigger budget. It was like 80 million, which is like still small for like a big movie. But so what I'm saying is like overall, like he's been doing these smaller movies like that are like under 20 million in budget, and so that's why he's able to get like they're financially successful. Because the risk is small, yeah. And so, but going back to what I was talking about, my impressions for like Old is like I led with all the bad stuff. By the way, there's actually a lot of good stuff in this movie. The movie actually hits hard, especially the ending. I'm sort of in this part, I guess, because I'm like, how like Soul, like the older you are, the more you appreciate it. With Soul, I think with this movie, it's sort of like. It sort of has like this theme of like aging and like, getting old. Yeah. And so it's like, the characters are getting old, but there's like this beautiful like moment that happens towards the end of the movie that is just sort of like, it just sort of hits you. And I feel like it's a very good like poem to like, the aging process and kids and like, it's really hard to explain without spoiling what happened. Yeah. So I don't want to spoil the movie. Yeah. But overall, like I thought it was very beautiful, and I think that there was a lot of shaky stuff about it, but it stuck the landing. Mm-hmm. So for me, I would say like, so I wouldn't say it's like an 8 or a 9 or a 10 or anything like that. Like those are like I would say it's like the best 7 that could possibly ever like it's got like these ideas that with better dialogue and better acting, better direction, like actually I don't blame the actors actually, but with just a little tweaks, it could be like a masterpiece. But like I'm glad they M. Night did his thing. I saw some behind the scenes stuff. Apparently they were dealing with a hurricane. That's probably why they had to rush certain things. Wow, yeah. He was talking about like the aging process and how he's getting older, and he has his daughter was a second unit director for his movie, so that's the first time he's ever working with his daughter. That's so like cool. There's stuff about it that's very. I
always respect stuff like that. Like you putting your family on. That's cool.
Yeah, so there's stuff in there that's beautiful. Like I'm not gonna say it like that, but like. Just I don't know. It's really hard to say, but like overall, like the bad stuff it's not outweighed. I think the good stuff outweighs the bad. So I just want to say, as far as like a review goes, I would say I would recommend it. just in general.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and kick it off to you. You say you watched Stillwater, so let's go ahead and tell me about it.
Stillwater, man, it was good. It was really good. It wasn't anything to go crazy about. Like, it wasn't like this great masterpiece, but it was a good mystery. You know what I'm saying? It was, I might have seen the trailer, but I don't remember it. So a lot of stuff, like, felt like a surprise. A lot of, like, twists and turns in the movie. It's one of these movies that's hard to talk about because, like, one thing happens in the middle of the movie that can spoil the whole entire movie. It's not one of these things where, like, the end reveals it all, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like a tiptoe thing, but it was really good. It was very well directed. It was just one of those movies that, if you miss it, you miss it. If you catch it, you'll have a good time.
Okay.
Matt Damon was fantastic in the movie, though. That's one thing. Matt Damon was really good.
He makes the movie?
Huh?
He makes the movie?
Yeah, he makes the movie. Like, like, I think if he wasn't as good in the movie, it would have just been subpar. But because so much of the movie is evolved around him and him trying to... It revolved around him and him trying to do a certain thing through this movie and find a certain someone. Like, his performance needs to captivate you, and he delivers on that. And so Matt Damon, he really brought it or whatever. I think the ending is gonna hold up for a lot of people.
Do you think Matt Damon will be in, like, the short list for Oscar?
No, not because he wasn't that good, but because it's so early in the year and we got bangers coming. This is gonna be one of the best years in a while. Like we got a lot of fantastic movies coming, and it's great because it's almost like the COVID movies are all flooding in this year. Like, the movies that was
it's 2 years worth of Oscars.
Yeah, it's like that's what's happening. So I highly doubt it with all these great movies coming and this being so early in the year. The Oscars tend to forget about movies around this time, but he still was great, and he has another movie coming out that he could get an Oscar for. So who knows?
There you go.
But yeah, it was a good movie.
So do you feel like, just based off of what I was talking about from old, do you feel like it's a stronger recommendation for Stillwater overall?
Oh yeah, I think it's a stronger recommendation based off what you were saying. It's a stronger recommendation because it was good dialogue, good surprises, good acting,
good pacing,
good pacing. Yeah, it's not gonna.
So it's basically strong on more fronts.
You might find Old more interesting because this movie is more of like a slower pace type of movie. When Old is one of the the M. Night
thinking
movies, and not necessarily. Well, usually he had twists. I don't know, like you said, this might not have a twist, but something like that in that
it's
realm.
A twist light.
Twist light. Yeah. So you might want to see something like that. This is a movie that's like, if you're in the movies, you're like, so it's not for everyone.
Okay. All right, cool. And the other thing that I watched this week, as far as movies goes, was The Boy Behind the Door. Now, Troy, we had a trailer reaction earlier in the podcast. Yeah. Do you remember what the movie was about?
Yeah, about like the kid. Wasn't it? Was that the one about the kids? Yeah. And then like one of them got left at the house or whatever. Yeah. Man, I want that movie is out.
Yeah.
Fuck, so I gotta see that.
I should have covered it during new releases on 2 weeks ago. But I forgot. But I will read you the synopsis at the end of the show for new releases as well. I'll make it up to you guys. But as far as impressions goes, the trailer. I'm not gonna say the trailer gave away almost everything, but like the trailer gave away a good chunk of it. Also, I was wrong. I said in our reaction to the trailer, I said, "Oh, they gave away the twist in the trailer." They didn't.
Well, that's all that matters. Because movies like this, it really, the twist is everything. Yeah. So it's like, if they didn't give away the twist, they didn't give too much. I mean, even though we might know pretty much the...
As a matter of fact, I predicted a completely different thing. I predicted a twist that was, I even thought they were foreshadowing within the movie, because like there was like this little symbol thing that happened like early on, and then they brought it back, and I'm like, oh my god, my twist is gonna be right. I was already like thinking to myself, like, I'm so, and then they were like, nope. It was like completely
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
They did not give away anything in the trailer, so I'm very happy with that as far as like what I thought where they were gonna pull the rug from underneath us. So instead, they gave away the twist midway through the movie, and I was actually like kind of surprised by it. I was like, holy fuck, like. So overall, I was the movie. You have to watch this movie at night. Like you have to watch this like you need to watch it alone, so that way no one's talking. You need to shut the fuck up.
Was it
and
good?
Watch, yes,
Like,
it was
was it
good.
really good?
It was intense, and it was a cat and mouse game because all right, the trailer. I'm gonna give you guys to tell you guys what happened in the trailer, so that way it's not really spoilers. But if you've already seen the trailer, then you already know what I'm gonna talk about. So the movie opens with them being kidnapped. And then, so like he's already kidnapped. They're in the trunk of the car, and then boom, they're like, they do a cutaway where it's like 6 hours earlier, and then you see them get kidnapped. You see them be friends and all that kind of stuff, and talking to each other, and then character development, yada yada yada. So they get kidnapped, and so what ended up happening was, so it was like there's the black kid, and then there's the white kid. The white kid gets taken out of the trunk and just gets hauled off into the house, closes the trunk, and leaves the black kid in there. And so the black kid is just like struggling. He's tied up. He's duct tape, and he gets out of it and busts the trunk open. And so when he was gonna take off to go running for freedom, he hears his friend in the house. So he goes back into the house into danger. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, that's the real one right there.
That's a good premise too.
Yeah, that's the real one. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. The movie pissed me off, and they're like, okay, the movie was really good. I'm gonna say. Positive movie, go watch it, all that stuff. Well, actually, I take that back. I'm gonna caveat the recommendation just because this movie is exclusive to a streaming service.
Which streaming service?
It's called Shudder.
That's what it's on?
Yeah.
No wonder.
Bless you.
It made me sneeze. No wonder I didn't hear about it. Like, it's just exclusive. I thought it was like coming in theaters and shit.
No theaters, no nothing. So I would say go watch it.
I never even heard. What is Shudder?
Oh, it's a streaming service for only horror movies.
Oh, I did. I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So the reason why I was gonna say I would recommend watching it in a vacuum, like going to the movies, but I don't know if I would recommend paying to subscribing to a streaming service for just one movie.
For one movie, yeah.
So
that's I mean, unless you could do that, unless they got some kind of free
week-long trial or something like that for free.
2-week trial or something, and then get the hell out of there. But
yeah. So, but anyways, so that being said, okay, but overall it's positive. Like I'm gonna say this right now. But the thing that really pissed me off about the movie is how like whenever like there's always like I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. I want to give you guys an analogy. You know how whenever you watch like movies back in the day, and like the killer is chasing after them with a knife and all that kind of stuff, like yada yada. Yeah. And you know how like instead of like the characters going out the front door, they go up the stairs.
Yeah, they do something stupid.
They do something stupid.
Yeah. That's a lot of that.
There's some of that. There's some of that. But also he's like a 13-year-old kid, so you sort of have to like give him a pass. But basically, there were multiple times where I wanted him to do something which I would do in that scenario.
So did you got the streaming service? How'd you see it?
Oh, I went to a friend's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had to go to his house to go watch it. So, but that being said, I enjoyed it. It's a fun time. It's a good horror movie. It's very tense, and it's very by the numbers. There's like a little twist in the middle, and it's sort of like it's kind of good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
That's pretty much what I expected. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah. All right. And next. 14 just happened this past Friday. I don't know what happened because I haven't seen it. But episode 13, I just sort of want to like talk about it real quick in the sense that I've been giving nothing but positive vibes on this. Yeah. By the way. You know how I was saying like it's been like good and bad. Yeah, It's stopped. It's been good.
It's been good. Yeah.
So like in my memory of everything, if I were to like, think about all 13 episodes, I would even say bump all of them to good. Yeah. Like strong. Yeah. So that being said, going back to what happened in episode 13, man, there was this gangster like he's trying to be a drug lord. And I'm like, fuck.
That's dope.
They were like, he was just came in there, he wrecked, he like took over this place. He's like, this is my spot now. And like, and he's a gangster. And I'm like, and it was kind of funny. You know what Poe Dameron did before he was like back before he joined the war,
the resistance.
Before he was a part of the resistance. They said in episode 9 that he was a spice runner.
Oh yeah.
You know what spice is in the Star Wars galaxy?
Nah,
it's
like drugs.
Oh yeah. So he was a drug smuggler back then. So what happened was, they have a way of like doing drug shit and like cartel shit. in Star Wars.
Star Wars,
But they
right.
call it spice.
That's cool. I always wanted like a drug
Yeah,
Star Wars movie or like
yeah.
a drug dealer Star
yeah.
Wars movie or
Yeah.
or a gangster Star Wars movie like
so this
with
guy's
Jabba or something.
so this guy's a gangster, and he comes from a family of gangster, and he wants to impress his parents. So he's trying to like take over this turf, and so he's got spice that he's going to be delivering to this, and then the Bad Batch messes it up and steals the spice from them, and he fucks it all up. And so what ends up happening was, after like the Bad Batch was forced into like delivering the spice to the people were like, you disrespected us and all this other stuff, and you're gonna pay the price. And they made you think that he's gonna kill the drug guy. Yeah. So this guy, he's got these two horns on his forehead, and so they put him on this head on this fucking pike. They got this blade, this fucking knife, and they just chop like boom, and you hear it, and then they cut away. You only hear like the thud. And then you see, what's her name? Echo? What's her the girl? The fucking girl's name? I forget. I can't remember her name, but she's
Echo,
is it Echo? I think it's Echo.
Something like that.
Anyways, so the girl is just like looking away, and you see her like do the shot.
They really tried to do some gangster movie
did
shit.
And I was like, for a split second, I thought Star Wars went there.
Yeah, that'd be
I
crazy.
thought, but they didn't. So instead, they chopped his horn off. And they took his
but
horn.
that's still cause that shit painful. That's a part of his head.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He was like, oh shit. I was like,
bro. That shit crazy.
And I was like, that was some gangster shit right there. The Bad Batch, man. Go watch that show, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, I just wanted to just say it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler. It is a spoiler actually, because that was a fake out. But I just want to say, Bad Batch be on some hard shit right there, man. You need to catch the fuck up, man.
Yeah. I stopped watching it. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, I might have to check it out.
And then and as a public service announcement, episode 16 is the final episode in the season. So I only have 3 more episodes to watch: 14, 15, and 16. 14 is already
It's
out.
only 16? I thought they was going to 20 or some shit.
So 16 is gonna be the season finale. So yeah, man, I hope it gets there pretty soon. But right now, yeah. I think that's going to be it for impressions here. Did you watch anything else unless
Nah, that's it.
That's it?
Stillwater, yeah.
Stillwater. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to the news.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
So, for the news, I actually had to cut it down because we have 2 weeks worth of news to cover, and so we're just sort of going to speed run it, sort of. First up in the news is going to be... Let's continue. All right. So for the news, we have, let's see. There we go. All right. Disney fires back at Scarlett Johannson, calls Black Widow lawsuit sad and distressing. So for the uninitiated, Scarlett Johannson, on her contract, she was supposed to, it said on her contract that the Black Widow was going to be exclusive to theaters. And Disney never renegotiated, or from what it looks like, they never renegotiated a contract with the whole Disney Plus Premier Access thing. I don't know if you know about what happened with Warner Brothers, but with Warner Brothers, they paid Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins as if the movie made a lot of money at the box office. So they basically pre-did her salary to do that. Yeah. So they did not do such things with Black Widow. Scarlett Johannson is suing Disney. And so now this is sort of like a updated article to what happened. So it says here the Walt Disney clapped back at Black Widow star Scarlett Johannson, slamming the actress breach of contract lawsuit for showing callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a court filing on Thursday, Johannson said Disney's decision to send the Marvel movie to Disney Plus at the same time it was released in theaters cost her millions of dollars in back-end compensation. Those bonuses were tied to hitting box office benchmarks that Black Widow likely won't achieve. Disney is countering that it compiled with terms of Johansson's deal to star in the Avengers spin-off film. Quote, "There is no merit whatsoever to this filing," Disney said in an unusually fiery statement. "The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged." Yeah, we started that part already. The company went on to state that the star has already received $20 million for her work and argued that the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the 20 million she has received to date. So when I read that sentence, does that mean that she's getting some money from all the $30 that people are paying for?
No. Like, to me, that sounds like they're saying that the opportunity that she had being Black Widow in a blockbuster movie can get her more opportunities for either Disney or some other company. Like, basically, they're saying she should be grateful that she got to be. That's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what she's saying.
Well, that's some host shit then. Disney did not provide any information about whether or not Johansson's pact was renegotiated so that she could share in streaming rental revenue. In March, Disney announced that Black Widow and several of its 2021 films, such as Cruella and Jungle Cruise, would premiere on the studio's subscription-based streaming service at the same time they hit theaters. Those movies were made available for a $30 rental fee to Disney Plus subscribers. The studio positioned that the move as a concession to the damage COVID-19 has inflicted on the theatrical distribution landscape. On July 9th, Black Widow set a pandemic-era box office record with an $80 million opening in North America, and it earned an additional $78 million overseas and $60 million on Disney Plus. Despite those impressive numbers, ticket sales steeply declined in subsequent weeks, and the PIC's gross currently stands at $319 million globally. Given that many Marvel's movies top $1 billion at the worldwide box office, Black Widow is on pace to become one of the company's lowest grossing releases. Oh, that's fucked. That's kind of crazy. It's no secret that Disney is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto Disney Plus to increase subscribers and thereby boost the company's stock price, and that it's hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so. John Berlinski, an attorney for Johansson, said in a statement to Variety, but ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible for their success of its films is furtherance of this short-sighted strategy, violates their rights, and we look forward to proving as much in court. This will surely not be the last case of where Hollywood talent stands up to Disney and makes it clear that whatever the company may pretend, it has legal obligations to honor its contracts. As Berlinski suggests, Johansson's lawsuit could impact the way that movie stars are compensated in the streaming era and may inspire a wave of fresh legal actions by actors upset that their films are not exclusively debuting in theaters. So, speaking of which, not in this article, but I didn't really pull up an article yet, but Emma Stone, star of Cruella, is also filing a lawsuit against Disney because of these similar situations. Yeah. So Troy, you hear all these news. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's not a good look for Disney, to me, in my opinion. It's not a good look for Disney at all. They come off like some assholes. For a multitude of reasons. The number one reason that they come off as some assholes, the thing that pissed me off kind of just after you saying this is that you don't, from a professional standpoint, you don't expose someone's salary. Like, you don't do that. I don't care what point you're trying to make. I don't care how much they made or how much they didn't make. That's not your right to expose someone's salary. You know what I'm saying? If me and you working together and, I don't know, just say you paying me a certain amount and you're mad at me, you don't expose, oh, well, Troy's making this much of money. That's not the world's business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, that was just a lowball move to try to say, look, she's making money, so don't think that
she's starving.
Don't think, right, exactly. And it's like, no, bro. That's not the point. That's not, listen, when this is show business, not your show friends. Like, we have in writing a contract. You can't just not honor your contract. It don't work like that. Right? Like you said, with Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman, they had to renegotiate. If they decided, okay, they're going to do something different and not follow through with the box office or how, because of COVID, they're going a different direction, a new strategy. Okay, we have to go back and go renegotiate a bunch of deals we had with people before COVID. We don't just get to say, oh, we don't gotta honor our deals because of COVID happened. And so, no, that's not how that works, and so if you just decide not to honor the deal and not to, at least to go to and here's the thing, like, if they would have went back to the table to negotiate a deal, they probably could have said, "Look, let me just give you an extra $5 million. I know you probably would have made more, but what we're going through right now, we're trying to. Who knows? But you're just saying, nah, fuck that contract. She made $20 million. No, that's not what that's about. She's a producer in the movie. She's an actor, and and that's the deal that she had. So that $20 million is hers, and she had more. Y'all negotiated the deal. You don't just get to do that, and that's why a lot of people was mad at Warner Brothers. You can't just make a deal and because things happen. That's the part of life. You make a deal, I might go broke, and a part of our deal was me to pay you something or something like that. I still have to. I'm obligated to still pay it. I don't get to just say, "Hey, the deal's off, bro." Like I went broke. Like that's not how that works. And a lot of this is greed from like Warner Brothers and Disney. It's greed because even if y'all put the movie out, like y'all trying to, what they're trying to do is they're trying to use COVID-19 as an excuse to boost the streaming service.
Yes.
That's what they're trying to do. And that's why everyone from these actors, and you got directors and everyone's pissed off at these studios because it's like, yes, COVID happened, but that, we still had a deal. Don't affect, my money. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all big billionaire studios. COVID, that's gonna stop y'all from making a couple of y'all movies might bomb for 1 year or so. And y'all are Disney. Y'all gonna go right back to making billions of dollars. Don't try to take my money out my pocket because y'all wanna, promote y'all streaming services. You know what I mean? So Disney, they look very bad because they gonna make a response trying to put her money, trying to out her, making her seem like, oh, she's ungrateful. She made $20 million, blah blah blah. No, that doesn't look good for Disney. They're coming off as the big Hollywood studios trying to overpower the actress. That's what it seems like to me. And it's just some whole ass shit. And it's like it doesn't surprise me that you said Emma Stone also suing them because it's probably gonna be, we're probably in the next couple of months, which each movie come out, we're probably gonna hear about more lawsuits because you can't just not honor a contract. It don't work like that.
Former Hollywood Reporter editor Matt Belloni took to his exclusive newsletter What I'm Hearing to report that Cruella star is currently considering a lawsuit of her own. Quote, Emma Stone, star of Cruella, is said to be weighing her options, he wrote. Belloni also posed Emily Blunt's name as a talent that could speak out after Jungle Cruise opens this weekend. He called Disney notoriously difficult to deal with in these circumstances, adding that fellow creatives have been waiting in the wings for someone in the spotlight to speak out. Belloni indicated that Johannson has an overwhelming amount of support from fellow artists and speculated that this issue won't be quieted. Disney's lawyers were quick to respond to the Oscar-nominated talent's actions with a contentious statement. The studio claims that they completely adhere to all stipulations in Johansson's contract. So, yeah, that last part was from Screen Rant. It's regarding the Emma Stone. So she's considering suing Disney as well. So
I definitely would.
It's kind of funny. It's like, why didn't she sue after when this came out? When it came out in May? Because this movie came out in May.
Well, yeah, she probably wanted to wait. She probably didn't want to be the first person for them headlines to read. She was probably scared,
Johansson is probably a bigger star. She could probably take it.
And I think
she probably won't be blacklisted or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's why I think Disney thought they could get away with this whole ass shit because they're the big corporation. It's kind of scary for you to be one actor going up against Disney, right? Yeah. The idea of that, like, it's the big corporation. They thought they could just strong arm everyone.
They'll make sure you'll never work in this town again.
Yeah,
that kind of
right,
shit, yeah.
Exactly. And I think Johannson was like, no, fuck no. I'm not doing that. We're not finna do all that. You know what I mean? And she's suing him. She's standing.
Plus, she's already out as Black Widow anyway.
Yeah, so, and I think that's a big reason too. Some people was like, well, I guess Scarlett Johansson got more work with Disney. It's like she was already. She died in. I mean, no spoiler warning, but she wasn't. She this was her last movie. You know what I mean? So it don't really make any sense to worry about her coming back as Black Widow. The most she would have done is cameos.
Man, she could become back as a variant, man.
Yeah. They good at bringing people back to life and shit. Vision, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's an interesting take there. I will say that hats off to her being a class act. So she promoted Black Widow with the smile on her face and did all the interviews and made no. You would think by all the press junket that she did when promoting the movie, you would think that everything's fine and dandy. So she was really good at putting a poker face, putting on a show for the camera, and being like, oh yeah, everything's good, you know.
And that makes it even worse on Disney because they were so classless. Like she was so you know what I mean? She was so professional, and then they first respond is like, oh, she made 20 million. You know, we put her in position to make plenty of money in the future. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you came off a straight up asshole.
Yep. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Jungle Cruise flops. So this is something more in tandem. We had 2 bad weekends. We didn't cover last weekend, but Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins flopped last weekend, and Old opened at number 1 by like $3 million difference. And then this one, Jungle Cruise, docks with $34 million in theaters, $30 million on Disney Plus. I am genuinely surprised that Disney reported the Disney Plus numbers. Because I thought there was gonna be a one and done with Black Widow.
Well, I think Disney's strategy. Any movie that's gonna have low box office scores, they're gonna try to show the
strength.
the strength of the you know what I mean? Because you notice they didn't like.
They didn't talk about Mulan. They didn't talk about
none of that.
Cruella,
none of that.
Yeah.
But like, so they look at damn 34 million. People gonna say bomb. Let's don't show this so it can be like 60 million.
Yeah.
But no, that's still a bomb. Trust me, because 30 million that is gonna be about the same. And then in the box office, that's not gonna continue. So 60 million sounds all right when you combine the two. But if 60 million, it's the same thing with Black Widow. Black Widow looked very solid at first, but it took that second and third week. That's what I had said on the podcast a couple weeks
dropped
ago.
off a cliff.
It takes and it's gonna fall off the cliff. That's why this looks very bad for them.
Yeah. So it's also not to mention, Jungle Cruise $200 million budget.
Yeah.
So
it's
there's no way it's making its money back.
And that's not even with the marketing.
Yeah, that's not marketing. So probably about $600 million to break even, I would say.
Yeah, they're gonna they're losing hundreds of millions. I mean, and listen, and here's the thing, like. I'm not gonna say I'm happy that these movies are bombing and not making money, but it's like to me it was just such a dumb idea, and it's the same thing with Warner Brothers to put these movies on the streaming service. You putting these blockbuster movies on the streaming service and you using COVID as an excuse. That to me, it just wasn't smart. It was not smart. All the movies that were meant to be blockbusters that didn't need to come out on a streaming service, they did okay. So like with Fast and Furious, with A Quiet Place, with what was that? The Conjuring. You know what I'm saying? Well, The Conjuring did come out on. Never mind. But yeah, so it's like. Y'all should have had better faith, I feel like, but instead it was such a scary move to like put them on the streaming services. That wasn't a good idea.
So what's interesting about the situation is like they are blaming COVID, and we'll get into it here in a second. Here, the Disney film starring Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson debuted slightly ahead of expectations. Like what?
No.
How is that ahead of expectations? Were they low to begin with? Were they thinking there was gonna be a $20 million or $20 million?
I think because they're counting the fact that it did the
Disney Plus.
The Disney Plus, so they thinking like, oh, slightly because of together it's 62 million.
Nah. The way I read this is like saying, oh, it opened higher than expected. That means that they were expecting 20 million, and then
just a low. Yeah, they probably had a low expectation.
Slightly ahead of expectations, despite concerns that the Delta variant would keep family crowds at home. So that's an interesting thing here, and we're going to get into the Delta variant here within like later on in the show. So we're just going to sort of put a pin in that. At the international box office, Jungle Cruise brought in a lackluster $27 million from 47 countries, buoying its worldwide box office haul to $61 million. For a movie that cost $200 million to produce, Jungle Cruise did its box office opening weekend would traditionally be a major disappointment, but the pandemic has upended the movie theater business, scrambling the rubric for success as the industry mounts a recovery. Today, the haul seems almost respectable, though it doesn't mean Jungle Cruise will be profitable. At least it's not theatrical. At least not in its theatrical iteration. A film with a price tag would typically have to generate at least $500 million globally to break even. However, Disney is hedging its bets when opening the film simultaneously on Disney Plus, the studio subscription streaming service, where it will be made available to subscribers for $30. The studio deployed the same strategy for the COVID-19 era releases like Cruella and Black Widow. Disney reported that on Sunday that Jungle Cruise earned $30 million globally on Disney Plus Premier Access, which is half of what Black Widow made initially in its surcharge revenue. With any movie being offered at home on the same day as its theatrical release, it's impossible to tell if the hybrid launch cannibalized ticket sales or enticed audiences who wouldn't have gone to see it in theaters regardless. So, anyways, what's interesting about this thing is like they mentioned in the story the Delta variant, and what I wanted to bring up is like the Delta variant. I've been seeing like these cases have been going up. The CDC, when I was in Indianapolis, we got like a little message on our phone and saying, "Hey, for anyone who's vaccinated or not, put your masks on." So even people like me who are vaccinated, they're telling people like just to mask up and go back to social distancing. Basically, they're trying to sort of like roll things back. And so the reason why I was bringing that up is like Disney is trying. I don't know if Disney is like rightfully so or not, but they're sort of trying to scapegoat and say, "Oh, COVID's the reason why we flopped."
Yeah. No.
Do you think that's a fair assessment?
No, hell no, it's not. For a multitude of reasons. Number one, like, listen, here's the thing. If y'all were just acting like a week ago or 2 weeks ago that Black Widow did good, and like y'all were like, oh, listen, blah, blah, blah. You can't just jump 2 weeks later and like, oh, listen, it's COVID. Cut it out. Cut it out. Because we have too many successful movies right around this situation, right around this area where they're still being successful. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, if people want to see a movie very bad, you think COVID is going to stop them from seeing a movie? Like,
if anything, the Disney Plus numbers should have been like 90 million or something.
Exactly. And here's the thing. That's another thing I was going to mention. If it's COVID, why ain't nobody buying it at
Disney
home?
Plus, yeah.
Yeah, cut it out, man.
Or at least match Disney, or not Black Widow. At least match Black Widow.
And I honestly think this movie would have been a bomb if it wasn't no COVID. Like, it just didn't look good. It wasn't catching people. I didn't hear no buzz around Jungle Cruise. I think,
because they had trailers before COVID too.
Yeah, I felt like the trailers wasn't good. I think this was going to be one of those bombs regardless. But I think, the whole Disney Plus thing didn't help the movie out. And they're trying to use COVID as a reason why this movie bombed. No, it's the idea is a bad idea. The idea of movies going to Disney Plus is a bad idea, and Black Widow proved it, because that's a hit. That movie is a hit. If it was in theaters, it would have been a hit. If it only was in theaters, and you seeing that the numbers aren't too good for that.
Yeah, so it's apparently Jungle Cruise received mixed reviews from critics and secured an A- cinema score. So people that did go watch the movie actually liked it. So that's interesting. But anyways, yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from that here. And yeah, that just kind of sucks for them. But Dwayne Johnson, he's a superstar. He'll survive. He'll be all right. And also Disney will be all right too. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next story. And it says here, WB reportedly considering replacing Amber Heard in Aquaman 2. Wait, what? No, this ain't the story that I... All right, I'm going to go ahead.
We got this covered? I don't trust we got this covered.
Let me pull up a different story here. So I'm going to just go ahead and... you know what? I'm just going to sort of TLDR it here. But basically, the story that I wanted to pull up here was basically... it's a story about how Amber Heard was never considered to be fired from... she was never considered to be fired from Aquaman, despite fan campaigning. So, so let's see here. So yeah, basically, this long story short, WB or Jason Momoa, like the producers, like everyone's siding with Amber Heard, despite those audio tape leaks or whatever that Johnny Depp put out there, and. So yeah, that's basically the story. I don't really know much more to consider, but basically there was an interview, one of the producers at Aquaman saying, "Oh yeah, that was never an option. That was never on the table." So just sort of knowing what you know about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, do you feel like that was a correct statement
Yeah,
to
I
make.
think so because it's like, first of all, that's what I like to hear in general because we in cancel culture so much. It's like people get canceled before they even get proven guilty these days. It's like, and but also like I like that because I felt like Amber Heard, she wasn't proven to be lying on Johnny Depp yet. You know what I'm saying? She's not proven to be lying about the allegations that she put up against him, about the abuse and all that stuff. So why would they fire her? Why? Because it's controversy around her. If they did that, that'd be disloyal, in my opinion. Because people go through things where they, what happens if she gets assaulted and she has to file a complaint against that? Oh, fire her? They would have been wrong. And I think that's the right thing to do to like clear up any kind of rumors that she was going to be replaced because of the drama. No, she hasn't been found guilty. She hasn't. There's not anything pointing to the fact that she's lying yet, by the way. Now, I'm not saying, but I'm saying as of now, there's nothing pointing to the fact that she's lying. She hasn't been proven guilty. And actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Johnny Depp might have been, it might have been some things about Johnny Depp that might have been proven that he is looking like more like it's true about what Amber Heard said. So, I don't know. I think it was the right move. I hate cancel culture, so I'm glad they didn't do that to her. And she's so good in her role, too.
So it says in the article, quote, "I don't think we're ever going to react to pure fan pressure. You got to do what you got to do what you feel is best for the movie. We felt that if James Wan and Jason Momoa, we felt that if it's James Wan and Jason Momoa, it should also be Amber Heard. That's really what it was."
And I'm glad they said that too because so many people are so biased that I bet you everyone that's a Johnny Depp fan that's saying, "Oh well, Johnny Depp's getting canceled. Cancel Amber Heard." It's like that's not no. The people that's calling for Amber Heard to get canceled is probably Johnny Depp fans that feel like it needs to be fair. Since Johnny Depp is getting canceled, she should get canceled. No, Johnny Depp is the one that is getting accused. Right, so it's a bit different. Amber Heard is the accuser. Why would she get canceled?
No, because Johnny Depp is accusing her back.
But I'm saying
they're accusing each other. They're both pointing the finger at themselves.
Right, but what I'm saying, who initiated it? Amber Heard. Exactly. So of course he's going to countersue to try to protect his thing, but it's the fact that she initiated it, and and there's nothing to prove that she's wrong. You can't potentially cancel someone that is potentially a victim. It's not right. And so I feel like certain people feel like, listen, I don't mind you feeling like Johnny Depp shouldn't get canceled. Like, I don't mind that.
So basically, this comes from Daily Mail. That there was an exclusive that says that, quote, "I can't promise I won't get physical again. I get so mad I lose it." So basically,
Who said this?
Amber Heard said to Johnny Depp that she admitted to hitting him. So basically, there was the audio that says that Amber Heard admits to hitting Johnny Depp. And so what happens is, in this article, it says that in 2019, Depp alleged that Amber Heard abused him, and that he filed a defamation lawsuit against Heard. So last year, Depp lost the suit, and
Well, there you go.
he lost the suit against the British tabloid. Oh, okay, different lawsuit. So there was a British tabloid called the Sun. They printed something, and then Depp sued the British tabloid for defamation. He lost that suit. Okay. So basically, there's a lot of stuff that's all over the place. This story is very complicated, and I don't want to get into it. But basically, it's a he said, she said, literally.
Yeah,
I'm just going to boil it down.
My only thing is this. This is from the Johnny Depp fans. I don't mind you feeling like Johnny Depp shouldn't be canceled because it goes both ways. It's not been proven that he's guilty, and it's not been proven that she's guilty. I don't mind you saying that you don't feel like he should be canceled, but you can't be a hypocrite and be like, "No, Johnny Depp shouldn't be canceled. Return to Johnny Depp," but then say Amber Heard, she deserved to be canceled. That doesn't work.
So for me, I'm gonna give you my opinion straight up. I think you have to do both things. Both have to be true. Either you cancel both of them, fire both of their asses, or you keep both of them. So that means that Johnny Depp should have never been fired from the Harry Potter movie, Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah. So he should never have been fired from that. So that's my opinion on that. Is like either if both things are not proven in the court of law and they're both pointing the fingers at you, you either believe them both or you don't believe either of them. That's that. So that's why, and it just feels like just because he's a man, therefore he's the abuser. It's like, oh yeah, that's the reason why. But men get abused too.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true.
I just that's my opinion on it is that both things are equally likely. So I think with when it comes to like cancel culture and the speculation, it's always like, oh, the woman's the victim.
I mean that, but the only thing that's wrong with that argument is that there's stuff that's it's more stuff pointed to the fact that like, and like you said, you don't want to get into it, and that's fine. But if you do your own investigation, there's more stuff pointing to the fact that what she's saying, a lot of like the stuff that she's saying is true. Like it's from in their case, that's thing that's being brought up in the case. Depp losing that countersuit, trying to sue the what's her name for supposedly trying to like lie on him or whatever. They lost that situation, meaning some of the stuff they were saying must have been accurate because they didn't get, because you could get sued for defamation if you do that. If I just make up something about you, you could sue me. But
if it's printed, it's liable. So therefore,
right. But the fact that he lost in court, he's a millionaire that lost in court. That must mean that the stuff they were saying was true. So it's little things that can point to the fact that what he was saying, I mean, a lot of the stuff she's saying is true or not. But that is a good point. You know what I'm saying? That is a good point that you made. But I just feel like personally, don't, you know what I'm saying, be fair. Like you saying, be fair. But I just feel like, there's things that point to her being true and her being right. But if it's loyalty there, stick to that loyalty.
Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to the next story here. The final story. Netflix is thirsty for Christopher Nolan.
What?
Netflix films chief wants to release Christopher Nolan's next movie. So let me go ahead and bring up the article. There we go. Hey, he's an incredible filmmaker. I'm going to do everything I can. So Netflix film chief Scott Stuber wants to work with Christopher Nolan to distribute his future movies. According to Variety, Netflix's recent deal with Steven Spielberg production company Amblin, which we reported on, has given Stuber hope that he might be able to lure Christopher Nolan to release his next movie on the streaming platform, even though Nolan has always been a strong advocate for the big screen theatrical experience. Stuber says he'll do everything he can to change that. So, quote, if and when Nolan comes up with this new movie, it's about can we be at home for it? And what would we need to do to make that happen? Stuber said on the prospect of teaming up with Nolan, quote, he's an incredible filmmaker. I'm going to do everything I can. In this business, I've learned that you need to have zero ego. I get punched and knocked down and get back up. Spielberg officially entered in the streaming wars in June when Netflix announced that it reached a deal with Amblin that will see the company produce at least 2 films a year for its library for an unspecified amount of years. While most of these projects will only be produced by Spielberg, it is possible that the movies will be directed by him and will land on the streamer. Prior to this partnership, Spielberg had voiced opinions on the difference between streaming and theatrical releases, sharing his belief that original movies produced for streaming platforms should not be eligible for Oscar competition. Spielberg later clarified that he did not attempt to prevent Netflix from winning Oscars at the year's ceremony. Nolan reinforced his distaste for streaming films last year when he voiced his concerns over Warner Brothers' decision to move its entire 2021 film slate to HBO Max. He said the studio didn't understand what they were losing by dismantling their traditional release model in favor of moving to HBO Max, which he described as the worst streaming service. So, by the way, separate side note, Inception is on Netflix right now, so there you go. Anyways, go ahead, go for it.
They're not getting Nolan. They're not. They can get it. They can get that up. They're not getting Nolan.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna put it to you this way. Netflix offering them a lot of money. Here's $200 million. Make whatever you want. We're not gonna give you any studio.
He
notes.
already has that. He's been having that his whole career.
And then but here we go. If you want the big screen, we'll release your movie in theaters exclusively for 45 days before coming to Netflix.
No, see, this is what people gotta understand. With Nolan, it's not about his movie being in theaters. It's 3 things. Number 1, he wants his movies in theaters the full 3 months. The traditional way of doing it. Nolan is a purist. a purist.
Yeah.
He's not like because a lot of these movies, but that's what a lot of people realize. It's a lot of movies that's been going to theaters than Netflix. Anytime Netflix has a good movie or a big movie,
like the zombie movie with Zack Snyder, it came out in theaters.
Yeah, they've been doing that, but that's not Nolan's.
The Irishman.
The Irishman, a lot of it's been doing it, but that's not Nolan's problem with them that they don't release movies in theaters.
Okay.
He's saying this Nero 3-week thing. No. His movies be in theaters for like 3 months, and then he likes that, and he don't like the idea of once they out of theaters, they go straight to a streaming service. He likes the Blu-ray. Like that's what I mean about him being a purist. So yes, they can say, yeah, we'll put your movies in theaters for 45 days. Well, why the hell would I do that? I want my shit in for 90 days. Well, we'll give you. You can make whatever you want. I can already make whatever I want. Well, we'll give you a boatload of money. I already got a boatload of money. So that's why I'm saying they can't get him because there's nothing they can offer him that a studio can offer him, and he would prefer to do that.
Honestly, if the fact that they got Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg's production company, the fact that they signed a deal with Amblin, I would say that
that has nothing to do with
I would say there's money talks. Bullshit walks.
But money talks only if you don't have it. Nolan is the richest director on planet Earth. Do you realize that? Yeah. He's the richest director. Like you can't. It's not like offering some good director a boatload of. It's not like offering Ryan Johnson a lot of money. Like, hey man, we give you all this money. Ryan Johnson.
Knives Out too, bitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Ryan Johnson ain't on Nolan's level. Nolan, like, dude, what can you offer me that Warner Brother won't just dump a big load of money in my backyard? Like, what would you offer me that they can't? Like, Nolan with Tenet, he has an unheard of deal with Tenet with Warner Brothers where he gets a percentage of the box office. Like, that's unheard of, like a high percentage. I don't remember the exact what's the name, but he gets a percentage of the box office plus his purse or whatever. That's like on some what Scarlett Johannson and them problem that they have.
Yeah.
That's what he got for Tenet, and plus he's already the highest paid director. So imagine you being the highest paid director just from your flat fee, but then you having a percentage of whatever movie you do, which is his movies does huge in the box office. Not Tenet, of course, but his movies do huge in the box office. Like, why would I go to Netflix and my shit what about my Blu-ray release? What about my, what about like the stuff what about my full 90-day run in theaters? Netflix can't offer that. He's not going to Netflix, I guarantee it. And not only that, he spoke on the record as how he hates Netflix. So it's not even a thing where it's like, oh, I ain't got a problem with Netflix. I just would never do it. I don't think. No, it's like, I despise you. Like, that's the enemy. Like, that would be him going to the enemy. He's not going to Netflix. Trust me.
All right. We'll see. We'll keep an eye. I'll definitely update you guys if there's ever any developments in this story, as I always do. We'll go ahead and I think that was it for the top news. So we'll go ahead and move on to the extra news. And there are 13 items on the list, aka a baker's dozen. All right, so extra news. Number 1, Sweet Tooth is renewed for season 2. Number 2, Tom Hanks to appear in the next Wes Anderson film. Oh yeah, also by the way, because it's been 2 weeks worth of stuff building up, these extra news are going to be bangers. Number 3, Sylvester Stallone teases Expendables 4. I should have retyped that. Number 4, J.K. Simmons is back as Commissioner Gordon in Batgirl. Number 5, Hawkeye is debuting on November 24th on Disney+. Number 6, Rosario Dawson hints that Aladdin star Mena Massoud is Ezra and Lars Mikkelsen is Thrawn. Number 7, Clifford the Big Red Dog has been delayed indefinitely due to the Delta variant.
Damn.
So they are straight up said it's the Delta variant's fault that we're pulling it. Yeah. It was supposed to come out next month in September. It's pulled out of the release calendar. It doesn't have a release date. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. People are already predicting that more delays will come in.
I heard about that.
So maybe Shang-Chi doesn't come out. Maybe Eternals doesn't come out.
I don't really believe it, but yeah, it's definitely a real possibility.
Next up, David Ayer slams the studio cut of Suicide Squad and praises James Gunn's new movie and said, quote, "A handful of people have seen it," the Ayer cut. "If someone says that they have seen it, they haven't." Damn, so fuck. Number 9, the Walt Disney Company is requiring all its employees to get vaccinated. Number 10, Die Hard 6 is officially canceled. Number 11, Netflix admits that their films need to be better. Because you know what? Their series are on point, but they can't make a movie. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Okay. Netflix. Like, damn. Like, all right. Number 12. This is the box office report for July 23rd. It's the old stuff. I kind of mentioned it. Old beats Snake Eyes at the box office. So I'm just pull it up real quick here. Old made $16 million in the opening weekend. Snake Eyes made $13 million. Obviously, Snake Eyes was a huge flop. It was a huge, like, big budgeted movie. Old only cost like about $18 million to make, so they almost made the entire production budget. So it's going to be pretty much smooth sailing. Yeah. It's going to be a success. So, yeah. And then the other box office report, number 13, the box office report, which we already covered. Jungle Cruise made $35 million in the opening weekend. Old made $6 million at number 2, and then 6.8 at number 2. And number 3 was The Green Knight, which is the Dev Patel movie, made 6.7. And Stillwater opened at number 5 with $5.1 million. Ouch.
Yeah, that movie. I mean, you could tell that movie wasn't gonna make a lot of money. As good as it is.
So I have a lot of headlines for you that are juicy as hell. What do you want to talk about?
Man, it's a lot. Where do I start? First, I'm gonna just start off with Tom Hanks appearing in the next Wes Anderson film. That is amazing. Like, when you talk about an all-time great director and an all-time great actor that has never worked together, are you serious? Like, these are the things I be wanting more in Hollywood. I want to see these collaborations with these greats that's never happened before. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Denzel Washington in a Martin Scorsese movie or something like that. Like, this is one of them, you know? So I'm excited. I don't need to know what it's about. I don't need to know those synopses. I don't even care. Wes Anderson is a master. He got a movie coming out that seems like a masterpiece. So, yeah, this I'm excited about.
Wes Anderson's next movie, which is expected to shoot in Spain. It's unclear the size of his role. This marks the first time Hanks will be appearing in an Anderson production. And it's also going to co-star Adrian Brody, Bill Murray, and Tilda Swinton.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. That cast is special too. And also, man, I got a lot here. Okay, J.K. Simmons back as Commissioner Gordon and Batgirl. I don't like this news. I don't like nothing.
What? This is completely out of left field, but okay, go for it.
Because like I don't like the idea of a Batgirl movie, and then it's exclusive to HBO. Here's just why I don't like the idea of the Batgirl movie, because they're not being so specific, and this is Warner Brothers' problem. They're all over the place. Is this Batgirl in the DCEU? Because you got J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon. Like, what the hell? I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I don't mind them having a DCEU and then like a side movie universe where you got like Joker and stuff like that. I don't mind that. But damn, they're at the point where it's so convoluted, I don't know what the fuck is what. Every day announcing so many movies. I'm like, is this a spinoff or is this his own universe or is this in the DCU? So now I was always thinking this Batgirl movie was its own thing, maybe kind of like, you know, in its own universe. It's on HBO Max. It's not going to be in theaters. Like, okay. But then you got J.K. Simmons. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess this Batgirl was in with Ben Affleck and shit. I don't know, man. So I just don't like this. I don't really like the whole idea of Batgirl anyway.
Let me talk to you about Sylvester Stallone. He put out a tweet where he was like, here's the new ring. I guess it's not a tweet, it's on Instagram. He put on Instagram, he's like, here's the new ring I'm making for Expendables 4. So there it is.
I'm not excited about that at all.
Damn.
And I like Expendables, but this is one of the things like where it's clearly a cash grab. He trying to just have his franchise going, like, because Expendables. Think about it, after Expendables 2, why do you need the Expendables 3 and 4 and cut that out? Ain't nobody care about that.
At least with 3,
more.
they got Antonio Banderas and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, but again, it was just a thing of just adding. They're gonna just continue to like, let's add all these old legends. That's not gonna make a movie good, bro. Like it was a great idea at first because it felt like Avengers.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a cool idea. Like you bringing the Avengers of action stars together. Like, but after you do it now, it just seemed like you just doing it for the sake of doing it now.
I think with Expendables 2 it was definitely a peak because they got like Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Chuck Norris.
Yeah, and they mixed some of the old and new. Cause then they had Ronda Rousey in it too.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. Like so it was like
and Liam Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. Yeah, like it was something. It was refreshing and new. Now it just felt like a gimmick. Like,
you know what? I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Expendables 4 somehow managed to get Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan has turned down Expendables, By the
Hell
way,
yeah,
and
he turned that shit down. He too much of a legend to be just let me just be in this extra shit.
but if if they manage to snag Jackie Chan for this go around, I'll be in.
It'll have me interested because Jackie Chan is Jackie Chan.
Yeah. All right. What else? What else you want to hit on?
What you call it? With the whole Netflix, it's funny how they say Netflix film. It's funny how they actually admitted that. That's some real shit. Because here's the problem with Netflix: it's not that they can't make good movies. It's that the problem is that they just greenlight too many movies. And if you do that without any kind of like specific putting thought into the movies you greenlight, you're gonna have bad movies mixed in. But when they do put in thought, they make great movies. I mean, they did The Irishman. They did Roma. They did Marriage Story. You know what I'm saying? They've done good movies. The Zack Snyder movie that just came out. You know what I'm saying? They've done a lot of solid good movies. The Two Popes. They've done good movies, but the movies that they do good, they specifically trying to make them good. They're like, okay, we need going out. Let's get this director, or let's snag this.
For every a good movie they have an Enola Holmes.
They have a bad exactly because they just say, all right, hey man, you want to make a movie, Lewis? Hey, come on, bro, come make a movie. And the thing about it, if you do that, you're gonna have a bunch of these bad movies.
Project Power, 6 Underground.
Right, you have to take your job more seriously and learn how to turn down movies. I think because they're Netflix and they have a boatload of money, they just greenlighting whatever. But like a studio, you got to know how to say, "No, this movie, I don't think it's a good project. I'm sorry." It's like they say yes to everything.
So while some of Netflix's television series has become widespread cultural phenomenon, see Bridgerton, as well as Stranger Things, Netflix original movies are sorely lacking in that department. Quote, "We have to be more consistent at making these movies more culturally relevant and putting them in the zeitgeist," Stuber said. Yep. We know the audience is there for these movies, but I want people to feel that impact in their conversations with friends and colleagues when they said that, "Did you hear about this movie, Old Guard? We've done it, but we haven't done it consistently."
Yep. That's basically that article. What you just read is exactly what I'm saying. They make good movies. They're not consistent. They're like, and the thing is, when you do that, it drowns out. It gets drowned by the bad movies. You make one good movie, but
then you have like 3 Brights.
And you have like 3 Brights. Then it's like everybody gonna think like, "Oh, that movie must have sucked because it was like Bright was trash." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I seen Bright, I was disappointed, bro. So yeah, like that. But the fact that to me, that's good news, because the fact that they're owning up to it and being real, that means they're taking it serious.
They're gonna reevaluate.
Yeah. The fact that they're talking, even though they're not gonna get them, but the fact they're talking about trying to get Christopher Nolan, the fact that they just bought the whole Knives Out franchise, basically, the fact they're doing things where you could tell that, okay, no, we're trying to turn this around and change the way people think of Netflix instead of thinking of it as a
good for a Netflix movie.
Right, exactly.
Instead of, we want to be like, dude, the next Netflix movie.
Right, exactly. They're trying to change the narrative how Netflix is looked at, and they're gonna need to do it when you got Disney Plus, HBO Max, all these different Paramount, and all this different shit. You're gonna have to up your game. So I feel like that. But that's all I had to talk about on that. Oh, last thing I want to talk about: Rosie O'Donnell hitting at the Atlanta star being Ezra Miller. That she hinted at that big. Like, that's not over, because she reposted someone that was talking about that, and it's like, why would you do that?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, like, so why would you do that? And the thing about it is, like, that's the perfect casting. Look at him, don't even, like, Ezra Miller look like he like an Indian dude or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's perfect casting. Like, if you think about it, that's pretty much, the fans had kind of made her get the role as Ahsoka. So, so maybe I think she probably trying to do the same with him. I don't know, but I think it's a possibility, and if it is, I think I like that idea.
Yeah. I would be okay with this. I'd be happy with this Ezra Bridger casting here. So yeah, fan casting is always going to be like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just want to say, nobody is really like clamoring for Clifford the Big Red. This picture, is terrible, by the way.
I actually think this is a good thing for them. Like them pushing this back. I think, like, even though it's because of COVID, I think it's good for them, because this movie, I could see it close as day. This is gonna be a bomb. This is gonna be a straight up bomb.
Honestly, like, wouldn't it be better for them to give give them the excuse
An
that it
excuse,
was.
yeah, but
that
I
it
think
was-
at the same time they could get away with that excuse, but they still want to make the money. If they can make the money, they want to. Because the thing is, the bombs, yes, they can have an excuse, but that's not gonna stop their pockets from burning after they
I
spent
think there's like
whatever
a way
they
to
spent.
like write it off from an accounting standpoint. Be like, oh, okay, let's just write it off, kind of
Well,
thing. Like no one gets fired, no one's in trouble, like that kind
Yeah,
of
I
stuff.
mean, but the thing is, they every company makes movies to make money. It's not just about the headlines that look we made money. They actually want to make the money. So if they put it out now, it's gonna bomb. Yeah, they're gonna have the excuse, but that's not gonna stop them from losing however hundreds of millions or whatever they spent on making this movie. So this probably giving them a chance to push it back and try to do something new for marketing. Because I haven't heard nothing about this movie except for
That
the
trailer that
I
we
saw.
watched.
Yeah, that's the only thing, and the trailer looked terrible. So yeah.
So looking at the release calendar, we got Candyman at the end of the month. We got Shang-Chi at the beginning of September. We have Venom at the end of September. These are just some of the bigger movies that I'm seeing here. Does anyone bite the dust as far as like packing up, moving elsewhere? As far as like,
I mean, I think any movie that's coming out big in
I'm gonna give it to
September,
Venom. I'm gonna give it to Venom.
Well,
Venom.
I feel like any big movie that's coming out in September got a chance of moving because of this variant. Because the variant is like when these kind of things happen, like same with COVID or like this variant, it starts like this and goes up. So the further you go into the year, the bigger it could become a problem. And by the time you get to September, like it's the beginning of August, so the variant ain't as big of a deal right now. So we probably still gonna, of course, get Suicide Squad that's coming out this week and whatever. But maybe by the time September come, if more people get the whole COVID thing, by then they might start pushing stuff back. So I think anything that's coming out in September has a chance of getting pushed.
All right, cool. I don't really have anything else to talk about as far as like these sort of gave my opinions already.
Oh,
So
hold on, David Ayer. Man, listen. I don't want to hear no David Ayer cut. Don't try to make this. Don't try to make this a
Go
whole
straight
like
to
Zack
HBO
Snyder.
Max,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't try to make this no Zack Snyder thing. All right, like that movie was gonna be trash regardless. He wrote the script in 3 weeks. You can't write the script in 3 weeks. That movie was gonna be trash regardless. And from what I hear, the part of the reason why like Warner Brothers took the film from him and like
and locked
changed
them out of the editing room.
yeah, the reason why, because it was so atrocious that they just trying to last minute scramble to. I mean, they didn't make it any better, but like it wasn't like a Zack Snyder situation where they completely hold him out for no reason. Like it was like, oh shit, this is terrible. We need to figure out something.
A part of me believes this because, like, a part of me believes that the director knows what they're doing. Like apparently Jared Leto says, like, "Oh my God, you didn't even see my performance or whatever."
Yeah,
that
but
kind of
just
stuff.
because it's more scenes, like I remember that he said that, and then it was more scenes with him, and it was like, bro, this made your performance look worse because you just added to how bad it was. So just because you have more footage, and here's the thing, but this is how I know. This is why I believe. This is the one time where I'm on the side.
So the studio.
Yeah, this is why
Oh
I'm
my
so with
God.
the studio because David Ayer wrote the script in 3 weeks. Think of a big blockbuster movie with all these characters, with all these superstars. You write the script in 3 weeks, not even a month. I doubt this movie was gonna ever be good in 3 weeks. You write a script in 3 weeks for a blockbuster movie, that is gonna be terrible. Unless you're the greatest writer of all time, that is gonna be a terrible script. And so the fact that in a movie is just as good as your script. So the fact that was what they was working with, and if you watch the movie, the dialogue is atrocious. How you was just talking about that dialogue, the dialogue through the whole Suicide Squad movie is atrocious. So I'm thinking that the movie was gonna suck regardless. I think, and then to make things more on that point, David Ayer's very next movie was with Netflix. He did Bright, where Netflix let you do whatever the fuck you want, and that movie still sucked. It reminded me of Suicide Squad in certain ways. So I'm like, nah, bro. I don't believe that. Like, don't you trying to?
He's trying to save face. You think?
Yeah, he's trying to save face, bro. Especially that Suicide Squad coming out, and that's finna be amazing. Yeah, nah, I don't buy it. At all, bro. I'm with Warner Brothers on this one.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to check this out.
Check this out.
So for check this out, I have it down to 6 trailers. There's actually a ton of trailers that I cut. And normally I cut for
Which
everything.
ones wasn't on there? Which one didn't?
There was a lot of indie stuff.
indie
We're not gonna cover it, but we're just gonna cover like the bigger stuff. So first up is Venom: Let There Be Carnage. The trailer just came out, And let me mute the audio so that way, there we go. So yeah, this trailer, it says, look at this here. Venom, Let There Be Carnage is directed by Andy Serkis and arrives in theaters in fall 2021. So this trailer doesn't actually end with the release date, and the description and the official marketing materials on Sony's website also says fall. So they're basically giving themselves wiggle room. So they're letting themselves get delayed
just in case,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I just kind of sucks that they're not confident, but it's still technically dated for like what, September 24th is what we said.
Yeah.
But all that stuff, all that Delta variant aside, this trailer is actually pretty good. I actually liked it.
Yeah, it's all right.
For me, oh damn.
Yeah, I'm not as big as and listen, I know I'm gonna be in the minority here because I think a lot of people will like this trailer. I didn't love the trailer, and the reason why I didn't love the trailer is because to me, for me how I could tell. And why I'm so good at predicting what movies that's going to be good or bad is because, especially from blockbusters, it's harder for indie films or whatever. But for blockbusters, I could tell when movies are not going to be that good is because they try to put in as much as fun action humor as possible and as least amount of character moments as possible. When you have a good blockbuster movie, if you go back to all the great blockbusters, they throw in the character moments in the trailer too to let you know that, like, look, this is going to be actually a good movie too. It's not just going to be an action movie, right? But when it's a movie when they know it's bad, they're just going to throw in all action to get you hyped. But if you notice, there's not a single character moment. Like all this action and shit, this not going to make a good movie good. It'll make a movie cool to look at or something fun to see. All this stuff, yeah, it's cool to see. It's dope seeing carnage and all this. But what makes a movie good is character, is dialogue, is acting, is all this stuff. They don't have a single one until the end. And even the end, they kind of play it as humor a little bit. Like when his girl's with another guy, that could have been something that's like heartbreaking. Like, damn, he's seeing a girl with another guy, and like that now I'm a Venom variant thing or whatever the fuck. But instead, they play it for humor, and it's like, so to me, like, I don't know, man. Like, this is the same vibes I got from the last Venom trailer, and I didn't like Venom. I didn't like the first Venom. Yeah, I didn't like the first Venom. So
see, that's the reason why this is the reason why I like the trailer, is because I feels like they're doing what the first movie but better. Like there's the one thing that I didn't like about like the first Venom is that the action scene was a bad CGI, and it was like you couldn't see what's going on. Everything's sort of melded together, and you can't see who's fighting who. Yeah. So like I feel like they're learning from the mistakes and improving from the last movie. So it kind of seems like they're doing they're doing the first movie better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so that's why I was.
See, the thing is, like that. To be honest, though, like. That stuff, the action stuff, that's not what's gonna make a movie good. Like, they learn from that mistake, but just because the action is gonna be filmed better or look better, none of that is what makes a movie good. So even in Venom, like, I would have liked Venom, regardless because I was the same way. I couldn't see shit at nighttime because it was like, damn, he's a black character, so I couldn't see nothing. But at the end of the day, if it was a good movie in terms of story, plot, character, framing, editing, pacing, if it was a good film, I would have gave that a pass. I'm like, that's not what's gonna make a movie good or not, whether I can see the characters fighting or not. So yes, in this, it looks like it's gonna be filmed way better. The CGI looks better. Carnage looks badass as fighting, but none of this stuff is gonna make a movie good. You can watch Transformers. It's all the action you want in the world. They got all kind of cool shit flipping around and all that. But those movies are bad because that's literally all you get is action. And so that's how I feel about this. But again, it's buzzing. It's gonna make good money.
Well, for me, like I actually liked the first movie because I liked the performances. I liked
Tom Hardy. He was good. So, he looked good in this, and he was good in that.
So yeah, like I said, I guess I'm a cheaper date. So Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the Chucky TV series here. So Chucky, it says here he's coming to this Halloween. I don't know what channel. Did it say it's like Sci-Fi or something like that? I forgot what channel it said, but. Basically, yeah, it's a Chucky TV series, and this doll looks creepy as fuck. And also, this kind of trailer, like these like the series opening moments, it reminds me of the very first Chucky movie that came out back in like '88.
The Chucky doll looks kind of like the original Chucky. Like they kind of went back to the original roots in terms of the look of Chucky.
Yeah, and it says USA/Sci-Fi. Those are two different networks. Is it airing on both of those networks? I don't know. I would say probably USA, if anything, but whatever.
I never seen that before.
What?
Like a dual.
Oh yeah, dual and like dual. That's
networks.
two channels.
Yeah.
That's two different, completely different cable channels.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's still talking. He's talking without a battery, so it's all creepy. I like how there's this kid is clearly in high school. He's taking his doll to high school. That is so uncool.
I'm not gonna lie. I just think this looks terrible.
Really?
I'm not as much as anybody that knows me knows that Chucky. I'm a huge Chucky fan. Anybody that knows
You watched Child's Play reboot.
I watched the reboot. Yeah, and I actually kind of liked it. That's what I'm saying. I'm a Chucky fan. But this, it's so many problems when I look at this trailer. It's so many things that stand out as oh, this is gonna be a plot hole. Oh, this is gonna be inconsistent. This is gonna be stupid. You just brought up one. This dude is a grown ass kid. Why does he got a doll with him? That's number one. Number two, he's a grown ass kid. You're not the second the scene where he sees him talking without his battery. You're a grown ass kid at that point that's smart enough to know. Oh, let me go chunk his ass in a trash compactor. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be terrified just like anyone would be. If I see a doll, I'm a grown ass man. If I see a doll talking without a battery, I'm gonna be terrified. I'm not gonna be oh, you're my friend. You see what I'm saying? And then it's also shit. It's so many things that just don't to me, it's just not gonna work. Things to me, Chucky isn't something I feel like works as a television show. To me, it has to work as just a movie where it's that one time thing. It happens quick and it's it goes like that. It can't go on for hours because there's other plot holes oh, everywhere you go, people are dying. It's are you serious? This dude is literally framing you because he's killing everyone. You're not gonna throw him under the bus or at least kill him or get rid of him or something. Everywhere you go, he's making it seem like it's you. So again, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna work as a franchise. I like with the idea though, but
it says October 12th is when it starts.
Yeah, right there in the
trailer.
Right there in the Halloween Kuiper area.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Next up is Shang-Chi. This is like a short 1-minute trailer, and you see she's shouting at him. It's what happened to your shirt? He's I don't know. So yeah, this trailer didn't really do anything for me, actually, to tell you the truth. It showed a lot of cool new footage and stuff, but honestly, I'm already been sold on this movie since trailer number 1.
Yeah, I agree.
So I kind of wish I didn't see all this footage because we see a lot of dragons and a lot of we see a lot more completed special effects. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
One of the things about the earlier trailers is the
They're
CGI is not done yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
whatever.
agree. This trailer didn't do absolutely nothing for me. But like you said, I'm already excited. I'm seeing this day one. Whether they show not another frame of this movie, I'm gonna see it day one. So.
Yeah. Plus, it's not gonna be on Disney Plus Premier Access, so I'm gonna have to take my happy ass to the theaters.
See, they're smart. They're getting smart around the movies that matter.
Next up is House of Gucci. Now, real talk. Looking at this part right here at the opening seconds of the trailer. I thought this was Gal Gadot. Straight
really?
up. I don't know. I don't know why, but she just sort of looks like Gal Gadot, but it's not her. So.
No, that's Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that is Lady Gaga. So yeah, it's House of Gucci, and it stars Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Selma Hayek, Jared Leto, Al Pacino, and Jeremy Irons. Damn, that is a cast right there.
Yeah.
And it's about the marriage and divorce of Patricia and Maurizio Gucci, the head of the Gucci fashion house, which leads to murder. So it's based on a true story. I'm assuming it's set in the 60s or 70s. I don't know.
60s.
The 60s. Okay, but yeah, Gucci. I know everyone who knows who Gucci is.
After seeing this trailer, this jumped to my number one anticipated movie of the year. Yeah, my very number one. First of all, directed by Ridley Scott.
Shit.
We know he's a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Alien, he's a GOAT. Then the cast is unbelievable.
By the way, I like how in the entire cast, everyone is either an Academy Award winner or an Academy Award nominee. Every single one of them. I'm fuck.
The cast is phenomenal, and as you looking at the acting, I'm looking at I'm damn.
Academy Award winner Lady Gaga. Wait, she won?
She won for a song, original song.
Okay, I thought to say, did she win for A Star Is Born? Fuck.
Yeah, I think.
Did she win for the song or for the acting?
No, the song.
Ah.
Yeah. But they put that in there, but regardless, like even in the trailer, it looking like they could win an Oscar for the trailer itself. Like the acting is on another level. Adam Driver is one of this generation's best actors. Like
Yes.
he's one of the goats of this generation already. Like he's in everything. He's already done worked with Scorsese. He done worked with now Ridley Scott. He done worked with damn it, what's the director that directed
Marriage Story.
yeah,
Damn, I can't remember the name.
Baumbach or something like that. I mean, the dude is he's a legend. Spike Lee, he's worked with Spike Lee.
I forgot about that.
Like but so he's already working with
Forgot about was it the where he's like
the black guy,
Black Klansman.
Black Klansman. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah. So like he's already like all the great directors want to work with him. He's worked with Spielberg. So he's you know what I'm saying in Lincoln. So the dude is just like all the top actors want to work with him. But then you got Jared Leto. You got the GOAT Al Pacino. You got Lady Gaga. This is her second movie and she's proven that she's one of the best. I can't even explain how excited I am for this movie.
All right, cool. Next up is King Richard, which is a Will Smith joint, and it's distributed by Warner Brothers, which means if it comes out this year, that means it's gonna be an HBO Max release too. But it's based on a true story. He's playing the father of Venus and Serena Williams, and you're sort of like showing him like putting them through the ringer, pushing them to their limits, their max, and stuff like that. And he's like one of those kind of like he's playing like a character that's so like go, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this movie. It's like this movie looks like try hard in my opinion, but it looks good. But try hard, you know what I mean? I can't tell.
Listen, to me it doesn't look try hard. To me it looks really good, and Will Smith looked like he's gonna be fantastic. But it wouldn't surprise me if you're right because Will Smith, I got him ranked maybe number 2 as the guy that picks the worst movies in Hollywood. like I can't even tell you how many Oscar bait movies this dude done been in, and they
like
just
7 pounds or something.
7 pounds, and it's atrocious.
So you know what I'm getting at when I say like
but and that's
when
why
I say try hard. Okay.
But that's why I'm saying you might end up being right. But in terms of just this, I don't see it in this. This looks fantastic, and his performance. And Will Smith, regardless of how bad he is at picking movies, he's always good. So to me, he looks like an Academy nominated actor right here for this performance.
A little more for me. It weighs a little bit more, 7 pounds, a little less. The Pursuit of Happiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, for me, I can never tell that in the trailer. Like I always said, like true. I could, like what I was saying earlier. When it comes to blockbusters, I could tell when blockbusters aren't going to be that good. But see, when these kind of movies, you can't really tell because they look good because they're going to show the heartwarming moments and stuff. But that don't mean they're going to be able to put it together and edit it right. So I can't tell. But based off of this trailer, if we're just talking about this trailer alone, it looks fantastic. It looks very good.
Yeah, King Richard. Let's take a look at what it says here. It says it's going to come out on November 19th, so it is going to be an HBO Max release, so I'll be able to watch it this year for sure. And give you guys quick impressions pretty in a timely manner. And yeah, but overall, like, I don't know why, but it just... for me, it feels too Oscar bait movie that I'm like kind of sort of turned off. But on the whole, I actually kind of am like liking the movie, especially the trailer can like sort of picks up later on in the second half of the trailer. Right. So when they show you the good stuff, the good parts. But yeah, so there you go. Next up in the final trailer that we're going to cover is Ghostbusters Afterlife. We have a new trailer that came out, and it shows you way more stuff. This movie looks completed just based off of what we're seeing. Comes out November 11th, and it stars Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, as well as like Sigourney Weaver and Paul Rudd. But yeah, so this trailer, honestly, like, I can't really, it's really hard to explain, but for some odd reason, even before the pandemic and even now, like this movie, I am zero hyped for it at all. Like, just like, it's just like, I'm only like marginally more hyped for this movie than like the 2016 All Girls Ghostbusters, which I never watched, by the way. So at the very least, I'll probably watch this movie. Yeah. So like, there's that. That's like a win. But overall, like, this movie is like, I could have done without it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, once I seen this trailer, then it kind of made my excitement go down because I really think this movie is gonna not be that good because it seems to me that they got a tone problem in the movie. Like, it's tone conflicting. Like, the beginning of the movie, it's almost like they're trying to go for more of a serious vibe.
Look who's directing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Reitman's a good director, number
Yeah.
one, and number two, he's the son of Ivan Reitman, who's the director of the original Ghostbusters.
Well, here's the problem though. Like
Okay.
this is what I think the problem is gonna be. I think based off the trailer, I think it's the studio and the director both trying to like force their visions. Like the beginning of the movie seems more like the director's vision, and then the beginning of this trailer seems more like a director's vision. But then the second half of the trailer, it just become a straight up cartoony Ghostbuster movie. Like it don't even try to kind of blend the two tones. And so for me, it just a lot of movies in Hollywood deal with that problem where like one of the guys wanted to be one type of movie, and then the studio wants to be another type of movie, and that's just how it feels. And so like I was kind of invested in it. I was like, okay, they kind of going for more of a serious tone. I don't mind that, whatever. But then when the ghosts come and they're all silly and shit, it just didn't match. I don't mind. That's what Ghostbusters is, to be more fun and silly. But it just didn't match with the beginning of the trailer. So I don't know. I think it's not gonna work.
All right, cool. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next bit here. So Troy, we are just over 2 hours in. So here's what I'm going to do. We're not going to go over the charts. Instead, I'm going to go over specific cherry pick things on the charts. Netflix and Chill is the segment where we talk about the top 10 charts on all the streaming platforms. So because we're like over time, I'm just going to go over specific numbers and then we're going to move on. So that way we can go on to new releases. So for the Netflix charts, I just want to say congratulations to Coco Melon to returning at number 8.
Hey, I think one of us predicted that it was going to be back. I don't remember who. But
I think it was you, but also just as a side note, it was all those Twilight movies. That's really what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. Twilight,
honestly,
yeah.
But once the Twilight fell by the wayside, Coco Melon came right back.
Came right back. Well, like Coco
So-
Melon, like, nah, don't think I'm gone. Like, and wait, am I mistaken? There's not a single Twilight movie on here.
No, there is not.
Yeah, that's ain't no Twilight. That was
And
just hype.
no staying power.
Yeah, that was no staying power. That was hype.
Yeah, so that was it. And then as far as the top 10 movies on Netflix, I just want to give a shout out to The Losers, which was like a Ryan Reynolds, Zoe Saldana movie at number 1. Number 4 was the Blood Red Sky, which I'm going to get to in new releases. And that's pretty much it. Also, last 2 weeks ago when we covered the top 10 iTunes charts, Wrath of Man was at number 1 and The Quiet Place Part 2 was at number 2. And you were bitching and you're like, man, fuck that. Quiet Place should be number 1.
Yeah.
Quiet Place Part 2
That's
is
what
number 1 on iTunes.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
check this out. This victory is hollow because on that top 10 Amazon Prime charts, F9, The Fast Saga, is number 1 over everyone else.
God.
It's number 1 over The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. It's over The Forever Purge at number 3, and it's over number 4 at Quiet Place Part 2. So Amazon Prime, man, they're selling Fast Saga for $20, so everyone's buying it.
Everybody buying it. I mean, I understand why, because Fast and Furious is popular. But my thing is, I'm confused. Fast 9, The Fast Saga. What does that mean?
F9?
So is F9 the movie?
Yeah, that's the name of it's called. The name of the movie is called F9: The Fast Saga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was named. Okay. I didn't
So
know
that's
that.
why like F8 is F8.
I was confused. I'm like, is the whole Fast and Furious saga like number 1? Okay, but okay.
It's that's called. So number 8 was called F8, like Fate of the Furious.
Yeah,
And then
that shit was
F9 was called
trash.
F9: The Fast Saga.
Okay. That's just stupid.
That's how their naming scheme changes movie to movie. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
Like Furious 7, Fast 5. Like what the?
They all over the place. They haven't been consistent at all, man. Like Fast 5, then it was
Fast and Furious 6,
they went
Furious
lazy.
7.
They just don't give a damn, man.
So yeah, that's all I really wanted to cover as far as the charts. I do have the full charts here in front of me, but we're just gonna keep it pushing. Also, shout out to Interstellar, number 10 at Amazon Prime charts. Now, my recommendation is gonna be Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is a classic movie from '86. I believe we even covered it on like what do you call it? Back
What
to the
is that?
Future.
That's on Netflix?
Yes. We covered it on like Back to the Future like a couple months ago, by the way. But yeah, I found it. It's on Netflix. It's there. You can watch it.
What's dropping this week? What else is dropping this? My recommendation. Shit.
You don't got one.
Nah, I don't.
What a bitch.
I don't got no recommendation.
So yeah, that's what I say. Just check out Ferris Bueller. It's like it's an iconic movie. It's been like parodied so many times. It's like everyone knows it and stuff like that. There's like a lot of moments that like everyone sort of borrows from, especially at the end credit scene from Deadpool. To name one off the top of my head.
Really?
You don't know the end credit scene in Deadpool 1 where he's in that bathrobe and he
Yeah,
talks
yeah,
to the audience?
yeah.
That's a Ferris Bueller reference. You know that.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about it though. Like
You bitch.
no, I did forget. I did, but I'm saying though, like I didn't know. But what does that have to do with? Are you saying that they're promoting that with Deadpool with this?
No.
I'm saying what made you bring up the Deadpool? Even though I know that they referenced that, but I'm saying what made you bring up Deadpool?
My recommendation is Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And Ferris Bueller has been iconic and so culturally stood the test of time that even Deadpool did homage
to him.
to them.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because I thought I had seen something promoting, like I thought I seen like something with Deadpool promoting this movie or some shit, but I might have been tripping.
Nah. All right, but yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the new releases.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
So, for new releases, there are 4 new releases this week, but I'm going to make up 2 of them to you, so that's 6 total. So, from previously before new releases, or that should have been covered on the last show, is Blood Red Sky, which came out on July 23rd on Netflix. I'm 2 weeks too late. The synopsis reads, when a group of terrorists hijacks an overnight transatlantic flight, a mysteriously ill woman must unleash a monstrous secret to protect her young son. The film stars, and I can't pronounce this, it's Roland... I'm going to go with Moeller. I don't know what that O with the slash through it's supposed to pronounce like. Perry Baumeister, Chitty Jufo, Alexander Shear, and the only name that I recognize, Dominic Purcell. Dominic Purcell was on Prison Break as well as the Arrowverse show as the Heat Wave guy. Anyways, so yeah, the trailer gave away the thing, her secret, her mysterious illness that they're talking about in the synopsis. She's a vampire. So terrorists hijack a plane, and this vampire needs to go vampire on them. That's basically what it is.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so I want to see the movie, by the way. It's on my to-do list. The next up is The Boy Behind the Door, which came out on July 29th, which was last Thursday, on Shudder. And it says here, after Bobby and his friend Kevin are kidnapped and taken to a strange house in the middle of nowhere, Bobby manages to escape. But as he starts to make a break for it, he hears Kevin scream for help and realizes he can't leave his best friend behind. The film stars Lonnie Chavis. Which, by the way, Lonnie Chavis, I just want to throw this out there. He's the same kid actor that was in the... what was that name of that movie that we were talking about when I showed you that trailer for that Rosario Dawson movie? The Waterman. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. You remember? I think I showed you this one already. Yeah. So, yeah, he was in The Waterman, which came out earlier this year. And also, Ezra Dewey. He's the other child actor that I gave you guys impressions on a movie called The Djinn. So, they basically had 2 movies. They each had a movie come out this year. So, that's cool. Kristen Bauer Van Straten, Scott Michael Foster, and Micah Hopman. Those are the stars of The Boy Behind the Door. I gave it a recommendation. Now, those are the ones that I had to make up for you. The rest here are actual new releases coming out this week. On August 6th, this Friday, The Suicide Squad, out in theaters and on HBO Max. The synopsis reads, the government sends the most dangerous supervillains in the world, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, King Shark, Harley Quinn, and others, to the remote enemy-infused island of Cordo Maltese. Armed with high-tech weapons, they trek through dangerous jungles on a search and destroy mission with only Colonel Rick Flag on the ground to make them behave. The film stars Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, Sylvester Stallone, Viola Davis, Jai Courtney, Peter Capaldi, Michael Rooker, Alice Braga, Pete Davidson, and Nathan Fillion. That is a banger cast right there.
That's crazy.
Next up is, I never heard of this movie, by the way, but I found it. It's coming out in theaters this week. It's called John and the Hole. This trailer, kind of crazy. Comes out August 6th in theaters. A desperate game of survival unfolds after 13-year-old John traps his family in a hole in the ground. Yeah, the kid kidnaps his sister and his parents and just throws them in the ground in like a hole.
That's such a unique story. Like that's such a that throws me off. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, so the film stars Charlie Shotwell as the 13-year-old kid, Michael C. Hall, he's Dexter, like fuck, Jennifer L. and Taissa Farmiga, who's the younger sister of Vera Farmiga. So there you go. That's actually pretty good cast. Next up is Vivo, which is coming out on Netflix on Friday, August 6th. A music-loving Kinkajou embarks on the journey of a lifetime to fulfill his destiny and deliver a love song for an old friend. The film stars Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's famous from, Hamilton? Yeah, Hamilton, and also the flop earlier this year that was In the Heights. Inarli Simo, Zoe Saldana. There you go. Zoe Saldana. Whatever. Juan DeMarcos Gonzalez, Michael Rooker. Again, that's 2 movies in 1 week for Michael Rooker. Brian Tyree Henry, Leslie David Baker, and Gloria Estefan.
Damn, that's a dope ass cast.
Gloria Estefan is a major, iconic singer from back in the day.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of, I don't know. I feel like they just put her in it, but damn though, they got Zoe in her. Like they got a solid cast, man.
Yeah, so that's a good cast right there. And next up is the final new release is Val, which is coming on August 6th for Amazon Prime. The film follows the life and career of actor Val Kilmer, including footage of Kilmer shot by himself throughout his career, footage of his childhood and home movies. The film stars Val Kilmer. It had a limited release in theaters on July 23rd prior to digital streaming on Amazon Prime Video on August the 6th. So finally, this is just a public service announcement. The Paper Tigers was on the iTunes chart. I skipped it on Netflix and Chill, but it was at number 8 on the iTunes charts because it was on sale for 99 cents. I've been noticing a thing where they put it on sale for 99 cents just before they put it on Netflix. But on Saturday, August 7th, The Paper Tigers is going to be on Netflix. We reacted to that trailer earlier this year on Check This Out, where these 3 guys are old and busted because they were they had a sensei from back in the day, and they're it's like a kung fu movie. And we were I read you the synopsis, you're like, damn. Yeah. So, anyways, I remember you having a positive review to that one as well. But anyways, so there's definitely one obvious choice for pick of the week, and that's the Suicide Squad.
I'm going with Val.
You're a lying piece
I ain't gonna lie. It's Suicide Squad, of course. I'm excited for Suicide, but after that, it is Val. I am for real want to see that because one of the things is when I first seen this trailer, it shocked me because I always wanted to know what happened to Val Kilmer. He was a big star in the 90s.
In the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and I was a fan of his too. And he was
motherfucking Batman for once.
Right, and I thought it was he was a Nicolas Cage situation where he just kind of just fell off. I was like, whatever happened? And then when you see this, you're like, oh, that's what happened to him. So I definitely want to see that. But yeah, of course, it's Suicide Squad.
I'm sure you got Amazon Prime, so that's an easy way to get it. So
I don't, but I'm gonna find someone that does.
Shit. Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and end the show here. All right, it's time to end. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ready Play Movies. Remember, you can reach the podcast by email at readyplaymovies@gmail.com or simply at readyplaymovies on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Chakalaka88 and Troy.
Basically Troy 58.
And don't forget to subscribe, give us a review, tell your friends about the show, and all that good stuff. See you next time.